Hi guys, I'm still getting set up, but I want you to know that Mike Buckley accepted my connection request on LinkedIn. So that's one of 6 team members of Team USA down. That's funny. I don't feel super good. My neck has been bugging me. So the neck thing is weird, okay? And I'm worried that it's just starting to be one of those things where it's a side effect of closing in on 28, you know? Like maybe it's the fact that I'm gonna be older that like now. Yes, cool. Anyways, I don't remember what I was saying. But my neck thing is super fun and exciting, and I don't like it because it's just one of those things where it's like edit. Okay, hang on. Monetization on. Save. There we go. Sorry, YouTube. I was trying to get your monetization turned on. Okay. The neck thing. It's very weird. I tried using my massage thing. Maybe I'll take a hot bath with like Epsom salt tonight. It's very weird because it's not like painful. It's just constant, and therefore it's annoying. And I now fully understand chronic. I won't. Sorry, I shouldn't say I fully understand chronic pain users. Not that I didn't. I doubted them before, and I don't want to say I understand because obviously that's very different. But it's just like it's every angle. It's almost like the weight of my head is hurting my neck. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it feels like. Like that's where I'm just like, what the fuck did I do? Because it's not my neck. It's not like how I've like where you're sore, but it's like the base of my skull right here. It's just like it's an ache and it's weird and I hate it. But I'm worried that if I go to a doctor, they're gonna be like surgery, and then I'm gonna start screaming, Hermes, don't touch that. Thank you. And then now my stomach hurts. So I don't know if it's a pain response. I did take Tylenol, you know, because I'm not pregnant, but I'm preempting, you know. Uh, so could be that. Who knows? I haven't taken Tylenol in a bit. One of the nerves in your spine. But I don't know what I did, you know. Anyways, I made this soup last night. Legs were tired after walking around a convention for 5 days straight. Fun. Did that go away sparkly, or did it just like was it just constant? Because I don't like this feel. I don't want to go to. I don't like the doctors, chat. I listen. I have insurance. I'm very fortunate that YouTube. I make good money on YouTube, and therefore I pay out of pocket for insurance. Okay. Um, but I don't want to go to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? Something with getting older, you do seemingly benign things and ooh, back pain. Like, so what I thought happened initially, okay, chat, was when I was at the Grove looking around for places to work, I had my heavy laptop bag on, and I do distinctly remember cracking my neck. I crack my neck fairly regularly, but this doesn't feel like I cracked my neck pain, you know? Like, it doesn't feel like that. This started the next day, I would say, is when this kind of started. Did I go live Friday last week or no? Hi Swell, hi. Will be affected by the health consequences. It does not have health consequences, Winter Burden. If anything, it's gonna cause I've already seen merch shirts that say come and take it with Tylenol on it. There is no real health consequences, not really. The president is a dumbass who apparently talked for like an hour at the UN today. And it's fine, so it could be that. Okay. Let's hope Hermes' butt in the frame. Let's hope it goes away. I'm gonna take a bath with Epsom salt tonight. and see if that helps things. I've put off working out the last 2 days just in case. So because normally I work out at least 4 days a week, chat. And I don't want to, because at first I was like, okay, well maybe it's like potentially I've given myself tech neck. So for those of you who don't know, young generations are actually developing, I don't know how proven this is now, but there was evidence of bone spurs growing on one of your bottom vertebrae of your neck from people looking down at their phones. Same way that like we have like the curved pinkies. So I was like, fuck, is it that? And like, that's why now when I'm sitting up straight or like I'm leaning back, but even doing this, like my head is like propped up against my chair. My body is not fully supporting my head. It still hurts. You know, like it's one of those things where I was like, did I do something to it? Like laying down doesn't help. It's just kind of constant and it's really annoying, you know, is further punishing women for seeking pain relief. Yeah. Yeah, if I sleep funny, my neck hurts. I had to stretch a lot more, TBH. It took a year or two. And then when I was 29, I visited an acupuncturist and made everything feel like it healed. God, I hate needles. But no, I went to a chiropractor when I was like 21, 22. Okay. Then they age shamed me at one point and it pissed me off. So I didn't go anymore and I haven't been since. And now I've learned a lot more about chiropractors and it scares the shit out of me. So I will not be going back to a chiropractor. So no one recommend that. Because if I don't want to risk it. So let's keep my posture nice because I was banned for like 5 years and they were very strict about your posture. No, my posture is very good. I'm very on top of my posture, which is why I thought maybe that was it, because I oftentimes when I'm near a wall or whatever, I'll just like straighten my shoulders back because I have the natural curve forward that we just have, a lot of Americans have from slouching and working at desks and things like that. But my posture is fairly good. But whenever I'm in like the elevator or whatever, I'll like straighten my shoulders back against the wall and I'm like, God, maybe I did something then. Maybe I pinched something. Unrecommend a chiropractor. Oh no, I'm not going. Not worry. Tension headaches are a real thing. Definitely suss your sleep set up and try not to over tense your face and ears. Over tense your face and ears. How do you tense your ears? I don't know. I've also had this weird eye twitch thing on this side where I feel like a random twitch in my eyelid, and sometimes when I pucker my lips, there's like a vein or something that like pops like up and down here. I'm like, that's fun and new. I don't like that. That's not fun. So I don't know if I'm just getting older. I don't know if it's a side effect of, I have not gotten, and before anyone's like, oh, is it your Botox? I have not gotten Botox since February. And this is fairly recent. Like the eye thing has been going on for a minute, like a month or so. But it's like, it's nothing outside of the realm of normal. Maybe I'm just like having too much caffeine again or something. Because that often is what causes eye twitches for me. But the neck thing is new. So chiropractically, is legit pseudoscience, but they've successfully convinced people to medicine. Fun. Also, embarrassingly, when I was eating vegan more often and had to take public transit within like the first hour of exercise and movement each day, I felt way better. Made me mad af. See, that's the thing. My diet and exercise has not changed. My skin is breaking out a little bit, which I figured might be a salt thing. I don't know. Who knows? But nothing crazy. I don't know. Things are weird. The human body makes no sense. It's really annoying. It can be hard to alleviate. Maybe it's the Tylenol. You're right. I wouldn't doubt if it was the Tylenol that upset my stomach, just because I am pretty sensitive to a lot of medications. I'm severely allergic to amoxicillin. Like I break out in hives and it's weird. I'm gonna smoke a bowl for you. Thank you. Migraine, so I'm trying to give you any tips. I do hope your neck feels better soon. Thank you. I did have that weird headache thing, chat, which did go away. But now I'm putting that with the neck pain, and where the fact that the neck pain is at the base of my skull is stressing me out just slightly, you know, because you got to remember obviously we weren't related, but like my stepmom passed away from brain cancer. So like, I'm like, uh-oh, do I need to go get scans? What's happening? You know, if I'm going to give it a couple more days, if the neck pain persists, I will go to a doctor, I promise. Because the headaches went away. Because the headaches were really weird, and I knew they were weird and new. So I stopped I was taking a supplement that had, like I told you guys, a supplement company wanted to sponsor the channel. I was like, no, because I have already done sponsorships with Ritual. Ritual does not want to do any YouTube sponsorships anymore. Still like Ritual, though. But I was like, I'm really not comfortable with doing multiple supplement companies. You know, I've done Care of before, you know, but like we did Ritual earlier this year. I'm really not comfortable with doing another one. And they were like, well, we still like to send you product, and then maybe we'll see. And so they sent me the product, which I already knew I was going to try out and give it like a fair shake, but I wasn't going to do the brand deal. But then that's when the migraine started, was not long after. So I was like, okay, I stopped taking it, and like maybe it was related, maybe it wasn't, but there was nothing else in my diet that had changed. So I was like, let's see if that was it. And I mean, they did go away, and the headaches were just weird. It was like short, sharp, like a weird growing radiating pain that would last maximum 5 seconds. Like it really wouldn't last very long, but it was so sharp and so strong that I was like, that's fucking new. Because I've had a migraine from time to time. You know, I've had bad headaches. But like this was like, it would be like a very weird headache at like the top of my skull that would like radiate, and then it would go away very quickly. It was very weird. With vitamin C, so it actually absorbs. I take a lot of vitamin C. It's caused from anxiety of living under ever increasing fascism. Could be that. Everyone's reminder to take some vitamin C so we don't get scurvy. I take a lot of vitamin C. Would you get a physio massage before going to a doctor if it's muscle related? I'm not opposed to it, but I really don't know if it's muscle related or what, because it's like, I swear, it's not my neck. I'm explaining, it's almost like where my neck, it's like up here. It's like at the base of my, like this helps a little bit, but nothing crazy. And like, it's like the base of where my skull meets my neck. A very important bit, obviously. Okay. That's where the ache is. Thank you for subscribing. Hold on. Gina, you won the Swell Grand Prix with a Prime boost. Thank you for subscribing and supporting Swell Speedy Science September. Sorry I'm sick and not very enthusiastic because I don't feel good. I don't think I'm sick. I think I'm just like, meh, you know. I'm not talking about the David investigation because there's a child involved. I had never heard of that man prior to this. I'm sure they're gathering evidence and they're gonna arrest him. But I don't like any of it. And if everyone in that girl's life failed her, that's my official stance. He appears to be a scumbag because whether he ended her life or not, he was in a relationship with a child. Everyone in that girl's life failed her. That's my official stance. A last resort, a massage might help the blood flow for now. The last massage I got, God, was that no. When was the last massage? When was Open Sauce? Because I got one the day before Open Sauce. See, I didn't bring it up this time. You didn't. They're in the Kirk Memorial. I'm gonna be honest. I don't doubt that there was a lot of people on Grindr at the Kirk Memorial. However, I never fully believe the servers crashed bit when it comes to them, because I swear it's free marketing for them. So I feel like they do shenanigans. Or maybe it's like oh my god, the servers crashed. It's like a rumor that they spread to like advertise Grindr. Because it takes a lot to crash a server. It takes a lot to crash a server. I don't doubt that they were doing it, but I don't think it actually crashed their server. One event is not enough to crash a server. I would def overload or block our feed in the area for funsies each time. Yeah. Like, people do it in the makeup industry. Like, drop websites do it so often, chat. They're like, you guys crashed our servers. And it's like, you check the code and it's like they just made it so that the website was dark. Gosh. I just don't like that. It's not like, could I feasibly, it's just enough pain where I'm like, God, I don't want to make it worse. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just enough pain and it's constant, where I'm like, I don't want to work out. I don't want to risk straining it and then hurting it more. You know what I'm saying? But then also I saw this crazy, this video on TikTok stressed me out. She was like, she was like, I'm so scared. So many Gen Zs are posting videos about how they can't jump. Like, Gen Zs can't do a jump, like a standing jump. And then I did a jump just to make sure I could do a jump. I can. My downstairs neighbors are mad at me, but I did like 2 or 3 and I knew I could jump. Again, I'm fairly active. I walk a lot, but I was like, I didn't realize, I was like, huh, that's interesting. And then she made a follow-up video that hit my feed. And it was like, the comments in my video scared me. Because what do you mean? The comments are like, I did a jump, but I did twist my ankle. I did a jump, but my knee popped. And it's like, you guys got to go to a doctor. Or you got to start doing some squats or something. Like a literal jump. Gen Z. Like, Gen Z has become so sedentary that a lot of them are having a lot of issues mobility-wise. Not to say anyone who's disabled. Like, not talking about that. Just the standard Gen Z, because of how sedentary of a generation we have become, because of social media, because of I'm literally sitting in a ball at my desk, you know. I got Hermes. One, I wanted a dog that I wanted to love and I thought would help with my anxiety. He caused more, but that's fine. But I purposely got a dog over getting a cat in 2021 because I wanted a reason to go outside and I wanted an excuse to, this is before events started up again. And I really wanted an excuse and I wanted another reason to make myself go for walks. Hermes does that. He keeps me very active. So can't skip, and that freaks me out, bro. I saw another video not too long ago. I think it was someone who had gone to Disneyland. And it was like, what is going on in America that the average person can't walk for a certain length of time? Like again, not anyone who's disabled, not what we're talking about. Okay. So if you're going to come out and be like, well, I can't do that, but that's that's not what we're talking about. Just the average seemingly able-bodied, able-bodied presenting, okay? Not being able to walk around a theme park from one land to another, you know? Saw that I freaked out until I realized I did double dutch and jump rope my entire childhood. Like a literal jump. I'm going to do a jump to prove my point. Hold on. Hello. I'm going to do a jump. Yes, my neck is hurting. I'm going to do the jump anyway. Okay. So bend knees, jump. Not even kidding. Bend knees, jump, do a squat with it. Okay? Okay, that didn't hurt my neck anymore, but you know, it just literally people were not able to do that. I was like, and I've dislocated both of my knees in high school, Chad. I dislocated both of my knees and I can do a jump, you know? Just tried it, I'm good. Yeah, no, do a I'm Gen Z and my job requires a lot of walking and lifting and it has me frequent knee and hip pain at 26. Yeah. Hurting his knees, jumping a bit. Yo, exactly. He jumped wonky and hurt his knee. The heat wave can make me stop walking and relax from time to time. Ouch. I tried it, I'm good. But yeah, that got me all stressed out. And then again, I saw that while I'm dealing with the neck thing. And I'm just like, I don't like this. So many of the cities, U.S. simply aren't built for you to walk around. Not at all. Very few are. Just tried just to be safe. LOL, I'm good. Both my knees is literally one of my greatest fears. I was doing cross country and track and field at the time. One was during a cross country race where part of it we ran on sand and my knee just popped while I was running. Finished the race, not pleasant. I like literally made it go back in while I was I like stopped, fixed it, and kept going. That was really dumb, but I did it because our coach had a unless your legs fall off, you have to finish the race mentality. Did you wear buns for track? No, I was a ponytail person. A jump rope contest in elementary school, and I was wondering if they still do that. I guess not. I don't think so. I meant the shorts. Why would we call them buns? No, I just wore like spandex shorts. Six feet tall, the man jumping, yeah. Or superheroes, yeah, basically. How we used to have school-wide. I feel like dislocation is as close to my leg falling off without it literally falling off as you can get. It's not pleasant. It's not fun. The other one was doing hurdles that same year. I'm not particularly good at hurdles, but I'm not particularly good at running either. So then I did shot put my sophomore year. I still did cross country at the start of the year, and then I did shot put after. And I am tiny, okay? And my dad's favorite story of me doing shot put, track and field at all. I'm trying to... Does this help? Let's see. I might just do this today, chat, and see if this helps with the neck problem at all. Just reclined. Could it be my fuck ass chair, chat? Could it be this chair? Could I be too short for this chair? We know we hate this chair. We acknowledge that the chair sucks. I literally might just need another chair. Because this thing does kind of have like a bit of a lip. Like it goes like it kind of goes like boot, like out. Could it be that? There is a little literal hollow from my head. It could be the chair. Can I sue Techni for neck pain? You could just get a neck cushion for your chair too. Wait, hang on. Let me go grab my airline pillow. Hold on. Let me try that. All right. It doesn't not feel better, you know? Oh yeah, that was Hermes, chat. Someone's gonna come in here and be like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm gonna be like, hi. I got chronic pain so you don't have to. Oh god. I thought a stint where I fucked up my ankles for like 2 years straight, snowmobiling, went off a jump, landed somewhat sideways. Front of foot stayed in the stirrup. Oh god, ow. Ow. It doesn't doesn't not feel better. I mean, it's like, it's nice, but it's also like there's no relief. You know what I'm saying? That's what kind of sucks. Like, even when I took the Tylenol earlier, it didn't help. Advil kind of helped the other day, so maybe is it safe to take Tylenol and Advil in one day if I haven't taken Tylenol in 4 hours, 5 hours? Is that fine? The producer, Hermes, is like, what are you doing? I don't know, it's probably not. Alright, I won't take any Advil today. Do you like a heated neck pillow? I don't have a heated neck pillow. I have a massage thingy that is heating, which I used earlier, which did not do anything, unfortunately. Any medical professionals here? Yeah, I need a doctor in my audience, clearly. And I rolled my ankle that spring while golfing. Jeez. That ass might wear this for the rest of the evening, before I go take Hermes out. Because like I said, it feels like my head is too heavy for my neck, in a sense. You know? Yes, you can take both with that much of a gap between, like, at least a few hours between. Okay, cool. I'll wait. Also, I burned my finger. It's not a good day for me, chat. I really am a pathetic individual today. Video's doing okay, and then I burned my finger, and my neck hurts, and I feel sick. Hello. You're just falling apart. I was made with paper bones and glass skin. I was made with glass bones and paper skin. Chiro appointment? No, we do not do chiropractors in this home. Tell me about de-niching your newsletter. You can go read the newsletter. It's free. We need to get one of the plastic bubbles. Time to take her out back. Holy shit, Nomad. Today is the new Rapture day, right? Yeah, today was the Rapture. It didn't end up happening. No Rapture, chat. Instead of a doctor visit? No, we don't do Chiro still. Chiros are not real doctors. We do not go to Chiro. My favorite thing, so my dad used to do a medical device startup conference, chat. He was not in the medical field, but he was good at like introducing people to the people they needed for their startup and stuff. So people would come in and it would be like doctors, it would be like, you know, Theranos chick types, like it would be things like that. And without fail, I would always hear the doctors at some point throughout the event. I would hear doctors at some point. I would pass by like a clump of them, and they'd all be bitching about chiropractors, like every single time. It was really funny. There would always be at least one group of doctors that would be bitching about chiropractors. Womp womp, no raptures, yeah. Pretends to be shocked. Long haul flight, check. There's still time. So he was the I know a guy. Yeah, no, it worked. He calls it connective marketing, which was like, it's really helpful in the startup game because it's like, oh, I don't know where to start. It's like, oh, you need a license. You need a regulator guy. You need a licensing guy. You need this type. You need someone who, you know, is good with blood. You need that type of guy. No way I can trust a chiropractor. I messed up my waist joint by sleeping on it while holding in the blank position. Flex? Like this? Like the T-Rex arm? Is that just consulting? He would put on a vent for it though. So he literally called it MedTech Monday. Professional field. I mean, technically. Connective marketing is just steps away from social engineering, basically. I used to call him a con man. He didn't find it funny. Now he's a YouTuber. Maybe you need to sleep on a wooden plank for at least a week. Source, Dr. Cosmo. I hate sleeping on my back. I'm a side sleeper. Maybe it's that. I just have floor time. I would have floor time right now, but I don't think you guys won't be able to hear me. Ow. This doesn't feel any better. Yes, the T-Rex are. Oh yeah, Tylenol is like 1,000 milligrams, 6 hours, and Advil is like 800 for the upper RX limits. I mean, but like the Tylenol didn't do anything, but I feel like the Advil did the other day. Yes, I took both. Not today. I took Tylenol today, mainly because I saw it in my cupboard and I was like, haha. I thought it was funny. Producer, come and help. He's not helpful. He's also not much of a lap dog. Not really. I look crazy. Someone's gonna come and raid at some point and be like, what is she doing? And I'm just gonna be like, I don't know. Neck pain. Ugh. And do better for pain. There's been studies. I'm also not pregnant, so I can take whatever the fuck I want. Might try cocaine next. She's getting ready for the rapture. Yeah, this is the position I want to be raptured up in, chat. Ooh. No, I was dead ass real worried last night about the rapture thing. Not because of I thought people were going to actually get raptured. I was really worried about the religious psychosis causing people to crash out and murder their families. Like, that's what I was really worried about, frankly. And you make me believe. It's just my neck is in pain, slasher. That's the problem. Like, this, I'm sure, would be a normally very comfortable position. It's just currently not very comfortable because I'm uncomfortable. Someone just texted me, happy bi visibility day. Guys, I'm visible. This is how you need to know bisexuals when they become visible to you. They do appear using an airplane pillow with neck pain. This is how this is the reality of bi visibility, neck pain. Okay. Don't get too worried about rapture nonsense. Remember Harold's camping? Funny stuff. I'm not worried about the rapture. I'm not worried about not getting raptured or getting raptured. I'm borderline an atheist. You know, I'm agnostic. I'm formerly Catholic. You know, I don't think the rapture is real. I worry about people pushing themselves into religious psychosis with the rapture, and then it doesn't happen, and they're like, oh no, I must have to kick it off, and then they murder the family and then off themselves. That's what I'm worried about. Neville just slowly falls to the seat of the chair. Well, you're strapped into a coaster. Feel better, lol. Thank you. Sucks with people that were selling their stuff. Not apparently some woman put her house on Facebook Marketplace and a woman bought it. And the woman who bought it was like, just for the record, I'm not giving this woman her house back once the rapture doesn't happen. And it's like, honestly, at that point, I feel like it's one thing to like be prepared for things. It's another thing to be like, what are you gonna do with the money? Why would you sell your house? Like, what are we doing? Left loads on your shoulder. Yeah. That part is a valid concern. Oh, hang on. Let me try. Is this better? Yourself a sin. Yep. What's kind of the funniest part about the last few rapture days, everyone was like, but I sold all my stuff. Yeah, that's not anyone else's fault but their own. No, sorry, I shouldn't say that, because religious psychosis is very real. Like, we've talked about AI psychosis and things like that, but it's a matter of, and I'm not criticizing religion. If you believe in the rapture, you believe in the rapture. One of my friends that is Christian was very much like, who's very offline. I was like, oh, the rapture is supposed to happen or something. And she was like, okay, if it does, I prayed. She was just like, okay, like, if it happens, sure. But like, she wasn't like, why would it happen? Like, she wasn't like questioning it the way I was. She wasn't like, really? She didn't do that. She was just like, okay. You know, for short periods, one hurts the kidney, the other hurts the liver. I don't drink. Do we know which one hurts the liver? All the stupid juice. What is the whole rapture thing? The rapture is a thing in religion, various Christian-based religions, where basically there's a whole bunch of stuff to it, but basically it's like the good Christians are going to go to heaven. You're going to get raptured up. So, like, you're not supposed to know when it's going to happen, and you just get, like, beamed up into heaven. And so, for some reason, they convinced themselves that today was Rapture Day. It's a good place. I always wonder if heaven was a thing about what scoring system would they use. No, that's the thing. It's, like, so many people that are like, I'm going to get raptured or whatever, that think they're, like, good Christians. I'm like, I don't think you're a good person. Why do you think you're going to make the cut and I won't? I mean, I know I won't, but, like, you know. Rapture is ridiculous. There's not much of a rapture in Catholicism. Like, I'm formerly Catholic, and there really isn't, like, the concept of the rapture doesn't really exist within Catholicism. It's more of a Christian thing. Protestant, etc. Well, Protestant, no, not necessarily. It depends. It's like different elements of different religions. I do know some Catholics that do think the rapture is real, but it's mostly a Christian thing, as I've heard. Gotcha. Sci-fi nonsense. God, I really look fucking crazy. It's kind of American. Yeah, apparently Trump told a bunch of people at the UN meeting today that, like, they're all going to hell and he's going to heaven. So that's cool. Always fun when, you know, the president of the free world just tells a bunch of people that probably don't even believe in heaven that they're not going there, you know. Again, I didn't watch his speech. He's a weirdo. He apparently complained about the elevators and a bunch of other shit. And it's crazy because it's he's the host country. They came to New York. And it's like, that's what you do when you have the UN here. God. Talk stuff, just solidify the American mindset of being the center of the world. Oh, God, yeah. Have I already been talking for 40 minutes? That doesn't seem correct. That seems incorrect. I look fucking insane. I really do. Like, I'm like looking at myself on the stream and I'm just like, wow. So he freestyled the speech. He was given 15 minutes and he talked for almost an hour, allegedly. Still. And again, just because the prompter doesn't work doesn't mean that you start complaining about random shit and telling every leader of the countries in the UN that they're going to hell. Like, the prompter didn't work, so I told everyone they're going to hell. I'm gonna use that. Hey guys, my note cards are jumbled, so you're all going to hell. I'm going to heaven. Glad you didn't get raptured. I'm in the Left Behind Club. Oh, I attended an inauguration, so you don't have to. Story from 2017, LMAO. So you don't ever have to go to one of those. Cool. You'd think we'd be numb to his idiocy, but it's fresh every time. I hate that he represents the U.S. I agree, but it also makes it very clear that he is, one, incredibly stupid, and two, not the evil math. Like, he's... This administration is deeply evil, but at the front and at the face, it is run by a deeply unserious, deeply delusional man who does not realize that he is a puppet for the rest of his cabinet and the elite of this country. Which is bad, but, you know, could easily be worse. Your desk able to transform into a standing desk? Yes. But I also don't feel good, so I don't want to stand. You know what I'm saying? My neck is in pain now, guys. You all have to go to hell. I'm going to heaven. I lost my notes. You are all going to hell. It's very annoying. Don't say that you will jinx the USA. Oh, that he's deeply stupid? No, saying it can be worse. LOL. Oh, true. That's fair. That would jinx it. I shouldn't say that it won't. This is a crazy angle, frankly. Sorry, I'm so... God. It's been jinxed. I mean, things are horrible. Like, they're talking about getting rid of, apparently they're quietly turning their attention on, you know, the fact that women have credit and are allowed to have money that they have control over without the men in their lives. You know, so again, I think it can get worse, and I think they regularly prove that it can be worse. I refuse to let them steal my sparkle, you know, as I'm deeply in pain. Maybe I'll try this. Let me sit up. Okay, without the chair. Like, I'll leave the chair back. Let's try this. I don't think it helps, but... The Spinnis Swell is so committed to her Twitch audience that she is literally fighting through pain to deliver us content. Basically, I was going to cancel my stream and then I deleted the tweet and I was like, no, this is funnier as if I'm deeply uncomfortable and I go live instead. Hasn't even been 10 months. Nope. Stop the ride. I want to get off. Well, thankfully my dad is nice, so if that money bowl goes through, I am carrying cash. I mean, if my credit card debt gets wiped out, I don't know. Actually, it's not like... It's horrible. Like, it's bad. Everything is bad. I know enough about wild edible plants to live by the water. I think I'll be all right. Okay, this kind of helps. I just do the rest of the stream like this, chat. Which is probably really bad that the looking down, like, look, that's what's actually helping the pain. Probably not good, huh? It's probably bad. I'm just trying to relieve the pain at all. Because it's not like, you guys, it's not like a searing pain. If it's like, if it was like a deep searing pain every time I moved, I'd already be at the urgent care, you know? But it's just like an ache, and it's constant. On the top of your head. Oh, wait, here. There you go. There you go. Hi guys, I'm Amanda. You're watching Swell Entertainment. My neck hurts. And yeah. Today we're going to talk about how Trump is trying to destroy democracy and leading to the rise of fascism. Allegedly. Hypothetically. Cousin It. My Cousin It cosplay for Halloween. Ugh. All I want to do is lay on the couch, chat. Look like Cousin It, yeah. I always look like Cousin It. I have a lot of hair. My hair looks crazy today because of this. It's giving travel, Amanda. Oh, let me. I've gone to physical therapy for it helped. It sounds like the pain I got in my neck and it's muscles in my neck. Definitely try an ice pack. Okay. I think leading to might be a bit late. I know. It's bad. Everything is bad and awful and sucks, unfortunately. And my stomach hurts. I have a tummy ache, which sucks when you're the bent neck lady, but you still serve cheese. God. Hugs to everyone in these trying times. You're still doing a great job. Thank you. I've known him as a scumbag since I was a little kid. I'm concerned that some people like him. I don't know if it's the celebrity wealth worship or what. He's clearly a blowhard and only serves his own ego. There are people that are like people always criticize, blue no matter who, like vote blue no matter who, like that type of rhetoric. There are plenty of people on the right that do the same thing with Republicans, So it's, I don't know. It's a lot like that. And then there are people that genuinely think that like they just hate women. That's also a factor. It's a bunch of things. I wouldn't say it's IBS. It's just like a tummy ache, which I think is very different than IBS. Yes, I did see the Trump and Epstein statue. Guys, the Trump administration did not place the Capitol. It did not place the statue. The statue is to troll Trump, and because they're trying to bury the fact that Trump and Epstein were allegedly friends, and I'm using my words carefully. No one come after me. So it's someone trolling them with the statue to make them try and again force the Epstein files. It can also be a meme. Multiple things are true. The flotilla again. Fuck. There were actual physical statues. Yeah. Oh no, I think it's a real statue. It's the two of them kissing. No, they're like skipping and holding hands, I think. It's a real statue.
There's golden statuary mimicking what you'd see at the memorials around us, but this is a temporary protest. There's a statue of President Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, and at the base you have an inscription, specifically the note that Trump sent to Mr. Epstein.
They're real. It could be a meme, but it's a real physical strategy. My new Twitch category, just scrolling. Yeah, sometimes you gotta. Best friends forever. Statue of Trump and Epstein holding hands appears in DC. Things can be memes and real. Turning every favorite anime into live action. I mean, I wish they were better at it, frankly. You love to see it, yeah. Okay. It's just like annoying pain. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The pain itself is incredibly annoying. Oh god. And my stomach hurts, which like pain sometimes does make me sick. But it's not like get sick sick. You know what I'm saying? It's like tummy ache sick. Ugh. There we go. You can hear me now. Hi. Cowboy Bebop just for it to end in one season. I never even watched it. I was like, no thank you. I'm good. In honor of Friendship Month. So much money. Happy bisexuality. Bisexuality Visibility Day. I'm visible. This is how bisexuals show up in F1 merch and with neck pillows because their necks hurt. Every bisexual in your life has chronic neck pain that developed randomly at the age of 27. They do not know the cause. I think on the bright side, this may bring about some actual change that's been on a long time coming. It's unfortunately that it will likely be global economic collapse first. I think we're going to get a repeat of 2008, but I think it's going to be worse. So that right there needs to be a clip for Bi Month. I think it's going to be worse than 2008 in the context of there's a lot more bullshit money in operation currently. I feel like there was a lot more like Ponzi schemes and things like that, okay, back in 2008. But currently there's a lot more bullshit currencies. And I get that there's a lot more security with a lot of various cryptocurrencies, but there's also a lot more bullshit, you know? There's a lot more fake gurus. There's a lot more fake products and fake certifications and the like out in the mix. And so I feel like economic collapse, 2008 depression, I think it's going to be like it's going to be really bad because now also we have COVID to contend with and we have various other illnesses that are currently going around. And everyone is also not very conscientious of each other whatsoever right now. You know what I'm saying? The bailouts of 2008 just kicked the can down the road. They should have just let it collapse then. I just like... It's just so bad, you know? For me, it's lower back pain. What if I just do this? I just do the rest of the stream like this. Can you hear me? You can hear me. It's the fact that this doesn't help, you know? Like, I don't think the pillow's helping. Not really. It, like, helps because there's, like, pressure on the spot. But that's really it. Also, since Max is now your favorite driver, are you going to get the bisexual Max blanket? No, I'm not buying merch. I already have my Red Bull sweatshirt. That's all I need. We're good. We're locked in. I have my Red Bull race suit. I've got the Yuki bear. I've got my you know, Red Bull sweatshirt that I think has Checo on it. Is it Checo or Max? It might be Max. Do I have anything else? No. 'Tis fine. Thank you for following. I have all different kinds of pain so often. Sorry you're in this now. It's just new and it's weird and it's not normal and it's been persistent, which is what's so weird. They've also now hollowed out regulatory agencies, social safety nets, and a whole bunch of other institutional infrastructure. So if a crash happens, it's going to be bad. Yeah. No, it's so funny because someone on Twitter is rewatching The Walking Dead season 1. And at one point in season 1, Rick says, if there's any government left, if there's any government left, they would do everything in their power to protect the CDC. And her partner just started dying. Because it's like, we know for a fact that that's the last thing they're going to protect. Social services, the CDC, and then anything else that helps, like, poor people. Like they'll hole themselves up in a bunker with money before they help the CDC in the end times of zombie apocalypse. I am sleepy. It's way worse than 2008. Every major economy is completely propped up by insane amounts of debt. It will have a domino effect of failing governments globally. It's going to be bad. I think it's going to be really, really, really bad. So, be smart, be safe, make good choices. That's really all we can be doing. Luckily, money isn't real anyway. You see, I get it. Money isn't real, but unfortunately, we live in a capitalistic society that makes like this fake thing that we made up like really important to like being able to survive. And like it'll get real bad real fast. And that's why it's important to develop community. Okay? Because the barter system is going to be important soon. It's cloudy outside and it's also 84 degrees. And I do think that that's cursed, actually. That shouldn't be allowed. Did you guys hear me earlier when I said that that Mike Buckley accepted my LinkedIn connection request? Yeah, the powers that be make it real. Yes, okay. Could be in a few months or decades. Yeah. That's one of those things where it's like I think it's gonna be a bad Christmas. Like I really think it's gonna be faster than we think, because I think all consumer spend is going to come to an extreme standstill very soon, you know? And I think the fact that the stock market is on the up, which we always know, it's always been very clear that 10% of, you know, US earners have 90% of the stock. So that's at least like what's currently being shared. So it's like, yes, the wealthy is spending money, but it's a matter of how long they're going to keep doing that, you know? Money does eventually run out. If there's a holiday slump, it's going to be a big indicator. I mean, there's been a downturn in holiday spending for years. The only place that seems to support a boost is Amazon. That's it. But then they see an insane amount of holiday returns. Oh, my actual conspiracy theory is that they already know we're well past the tipping point on climate and we're in a runaway feedback loop. That's why the billionaires are being crazy. No, I feel like they'd be we would see everything that's like, we're moving to Mars. You know, I think we'd see way more of that. I'm just making my family gifts this year mainly because, I'm not doing Christmas. I'm fucking off. I told my dad. I was like, good luck with that. Have fun. Last Christmas was a nightmare. I'm not doing that again. So, I'm full of sunshine today. I know, we're doing incredible. Incredible today. Sorry, I just read someone's crash out. So it's a stupid tech take is the Twitter account, and it just says smart take is the caption. And someone said, I am new to GitHub and I have a lot to say. I don't give a fuck about the fucking code. I just want to download this stupid fucking application and use it. Why is there code? Make a fucking .exe file and give it to me. These dumb fucks think that everyone is a developer and understands code. Well, I am not, and I don't understand it. I only know to download and install applications. So why the fuck is there code? Make an exe file and give it to me. Stupid fucking smelly nerds. It's from the GitHub on Reddit. Someone said, one of the mods replied and said, GitHub is a tool for developers. If you're not a developer, then GitHub is the wrong place for you to be looking for software. Really sick from your last Christmas? No, I didn't get sick from last Christmas. I got norovirus from, I'm fairly certain, ice skating at the Fontainebleau, which was very cool, but I'm fairly certain I got sick there. So it's not so much I got sick from Christmas. It ended on a poor note because I got violently ill, you know, after Christmas. So we love a good crash out. I was playing around with GitHub today because I have an idea for a thing. So I was like looking at some of the APIs and stuff they have on there. So I was like, thinking thoughts. Also, I put a note on Substack because I'm looking for a developer for something. Like, what's a way to find web developers or app developers? And someone just said Discord. Why would I just know? What do you mean Discord? How do you find a developer on Discord? I search developer into the Discord file. That's dumb. Why? That doesn't make sense. How did they wander into GitHub? I think he thought it was a software and not an API or something. The only person that replied to my post on Substack said Discord. What are you talking about, bro? I'd say Fiverr. I've never been ice skating. We had a rink locally. I think it closed in May. Damn. I love ice skating. Almost like GitHub is explicitly for developers and not end users. Also, it's in Python. There is no .exe file. I think I get how it works, but the whole culture of it, just don't get it. Sorry, that was mean. I meant find Discord groups with tons of developers in it, like 100 devs. What? Sorry, that was mean. What was mean? Hold on. Ugh. Did your comment get held? Is that what happened? No? Sorry, that was mean. I meant find Discord group with tons of developers in it, like 100 devs. Why would I be able to find that, though? That doesn't make sense. That was me. That was you. Okay. You spelt out the word mean. And I was like, what are you talking about? I literally, Cloudy View, in the thing, I literally said, no one come at me with anything recommending no-code AI tools or I'm blocking you. Because I don't want to use, I want to hire a human being. I want to help employ someone. Or I'm just going to learn to do it myself. A measle weasel, I don't know why though, like why would I know that? Like you just say Discord and I'm like, why would I know how would I find a Discord as a non-developer that's just like, oh yeah, just find a Discord. Like that doesn't make sense. You understand that sounds crazy. Just vibe code it yourself. No. And like the thing that I want to make, I could very easily vibe code it, but I don't want to. I don't want to suffocate a low-income neighborhood to make my dumb website idea that I think could make some shmoney. That's it. Part of a bunch of different Discord groups dedicated to software engineers and devs. Some of them promote themselves. Where? Where? I am a YouTube bitch. That's it. I have heard of none of these. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at everyone like yelling at this dude being like, are you dumb? And I just joined their Discord. Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 team have confirmed George Russell will not return for 2026 season because he has been raptured. Notably, his rookie mates, Alex and Lando, remain on the temporal plane, indicating that they are not worthy of eternal salvation. Freelance websites for devs that isn't just Fiverr. Fiverr? Fiverr. You said Fiverr. I understood Fiverr the first time, and then it said Fiverr. Like, what I want to make would be fairly simple. I just don't know how to do that. You know? Like in my brain, it seems very simple. Saying go to Discord to find devs is like saying go to Home Depot to find construction workers. This is a big Twitch, YouTube dev streamer. Maybe slide into her DMs, into DMs for advice or guidance. The Prime Gin. Hold on. I'm moving at a glacial pace. They are live now. That is a later thing. You guys, I'm moving at a glacial pace. I don't feel good. My neck hurts. I have too many ideas and not enough time in the day, or apparently enough body ability to do things because I don't feel good. I'm a little chopped today. I'm chopped and unk today, chat. Okay. I'm a little cooked. We the leftovers? I think we're the leftovers, yeah. Maybe this is why I don't feel good, chat. Maybe because I wasn't raptured. Maybe I was meant to be raptured, but they were like, oh no, her neck pain. Chopped, cook, unked. I only know one of those words. Unk is saying you're old. Chopped is saying you're over. Cooked means you're kind of fucked. Let's see. But I feel like I missed something. What was the about dev and Discord? So Sparkly, on, you're fine. I'm nodded off at my desk. I'm this close to nodding off. You're fine. Sparkly, on Substack, I asked like, oh, what's a way to find web developers and app developers? Do not come at me recommending any no-code AI tools or vibe code tools. I'll block you. And someone said Discord. And then I was complaining about them, and it was a Measle Weasel. And a Measle Weasel was like, oh, that's me. I mean, there's like Discord groups for devs. And I was like, why would I know that? What? You just gave me the word Discord. And now people are talking about different ways to find devs. Of season 2 of High Potential, you know it's gonna be a banger when it starts with abracadabra. Also, that ending was diabolical. I agree. That ending was diabolical. It was. What an ending, right? It was so good. It's so good. Currently watching your new Taylor Swift weekend video. Incredible. Oh yeah, Discord, the current best way to find devs, but you gotta find the good service for it. It's tragic. That's crazy. And then someone recommended a Twitch streamer if I would like to DM them and see if they had any recommendations, but I don't want to bother them right now because they're streaming. And also, I'm moving at a glacial pace. People give me shit for this still being my background chat. Me in Lewis Hamilton's 08 Drivers' Championship winning car. But I don't care because I love it. It's like hands down one of the sickest photos I think I have of myself. Like, when I do something cooler than that, then I will change the photo, you know? I'd like to add that I didn't mean to send it, but I accidentally did, and there's no option to edit it. Gotcha. You're fine. I was being an asshole, a Measle Weasel. That's what I do here. It's my fall-time comfort show. No, I'd never change it. Used to be able to find a lot of people on Twitter, but LOL Twitter and Blue Sky are only getting a bit better. I'd like to add that I didn't mean to change it. That's a hard background to top. It's a good photo. No, they're just jealous. No, Anarchy was like, okay, you have a baby and you love this baby. You wanted this baby. Would you hesitate to change your background photo to a photo of your baby? And I was like, I did think about it for a second. And she was like, why the fuck are you thinking about it? And I'm like, well, honestly, I really wouldn't put, I'm a semi-public figure. If I was keeping my kid offline, which I would do, I would not put a photo of my baby, like a photo of my baby's face on my phone background, because that's the last thing I need is that leaking. It would be like a photo of me holding the baby, maybe. Is wisteria flowers valid? I also have, let's see, my work phone, my background, I have a few different backgrounds. Hang on. I have, let's see. Where is it? There we go. We have this one, which is spooky woman. This is my ideal vibe. Woman with a candelabra in a spooky mansion. Okay, that's my ideal vibe that I want. You know, in a stunning nightgown. That's it. My work phone has a photo of Hermes, this photo as well, and then a photo of a bunch of dollars, like a pile of money, because you know, manifest on the work phone. If I have a photo like that, even my wedding photo will not top it. No, seriously, like I was like, okay, what if I go back and I get another photo into the car with the baby? And she was like, you're insane. I was like, yeah, but still. On my phone, the only thing is I updated it by taking the exact same photo in the exact same place with the exact same little pet shop toy, just so it was a better quality. The baby can have a photo widget on the home screen. Valid. I've never wanted my phone wallpaper or lock screen to be my photos of people, even in my family, that I'm like, I guess I'm weird. Yeah, no, like I feel like even if I got in a relationship, like, this is so I lock in, you know? Like, this is so, do you want to be a race car driver? Fucking not, bitch. As I'm dealing with neck pain. Do you want to be a race car driver? Do you want to do 60 pounds of vertical G's while you can't hold your neck up? Let me be delusional, chat. Let me be delusional. When I go to events, I sometimes put my face and a QR code for people to find me. If I'm networking, LMAO, it's cursed background. Money and debt free. Yep, epic. My main lock screen is my partner, but I'm tragically romance pilled. Yeah, see, I'm not experiencing that. No one is like tickling my fancy lately, chat. Even my athletes are pissing me off. Like everyone's irritating me. I've rotating backgrounds with it being 80% cats. Nice. See, Capri was recruiting singles for a thing he's working on. Yeah, I saw it and I thought about swiping up, and then I was like, no, I'm good actually. I'm just really not in a spot to date right now. I should be single, frankly. I think there's a lot of reasons that I should be single. Chief among them, I don't like any of you fuckers right now. Did Sparkly lock in? But imagine the content. That I don't like anyone right now? Which euphemism? That I don't like anyone right now? Or that I should be single? What are you asking is a euphemism? Why Capri is popular? Capri is fun. What do you mean, why is Capri popular? We love Capri. Dating seems like a lot of work. I don't understand why people do it. It's not even that it seems like work. I'm really not in like a good, healthy mindset to be dating, in that I have very little desire to change how I live my life. And that is not conducive to bringing another person into it. You know what I'm saying? You said nobody's tickling your fancy. No, literally, it's literally a saying. Like, no one's tickling my fancy. No one's getting me excited about the possibility of, oh, I kind of want to ask them out. Like, no one's, it'd be really cool if they asked my phone number. Like, no one's doing that. Like, I'm not getting that experience. Like, no, I'm always like, like, no, literally, no one is tickling my fancy currently. It's not a euphemism. It's like literally a state of being. No one's getting me excited about the concept of dating them. And I don't sleep around because look at the administration. I wasn't sleeping around before this, but still. I'm not risking getting pregnant from a rando or a loser. Absolutely not. Going back to in Grindr, people just piss me off. See, that's the thing. Someone said we are not meant to see this many people a day, like with Grindr and dating apps in general. Like, we're not meant to be matched by this many people. And like, some people don't use dating apps properly. I am not someone that should be on dating apps. Logically, yes, I would find more people, okay? However, I have this thing, which this could be a touch of my tism, okay? Because my mom did Tylenol when I was in the womb. I'm kidding. I'm fucking around. That Tylenol does not cause autism. But you know, or you know, my recurring trauma or whatever. But it's but it's when you're in my phone, like, it's one of the reasons where it's like I always laugh now when people try and slide into my DMs with hey, like, because I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like, you are an NPC in my phone. Like, you might as well be a video game character on my phone. Like, you're probably a bot. You don't exist. You're not a real person. At the very least, and also, who the fuck are you? Like, why would I open that DM? Why would I reply to you with hey? At least give me something crazy. Like, oh my God, I also think that Lando Norris is being annoying. I also think that Max should be world champion. Do you want to grab dinner sometime? You're so cool. Thank you for following. Like have like an actual thought, you know, like an actual like something that shows me that you can like read and write, you know, something intelligent slightly, you know. But a hey, like hey, and then they have no profile picture or their profile is locked. Which every time I say, hey, why are you sliding into my DMs with a private account when I can't check that you're not so I can't check that you're not a stalker or a serial killer? And the amount of butthurt viewers, men, that slid into my DMs again, where it's like, hey, because they thought that the reason I never replied to them after that was because I thought they were creepy. No, you're just a rando on the internet. I was just making fun of the people that try and slide with a private profile, because it's like, doubly, what are you doing? I didn't reply to any single one of them because they all annoyed me. I was like, you guys, actually, not everything is about you, actually. Like, actually, none of this is about you. Like, no one is interesting, and yeah, sleeping around is dangerous for uterus havers right now. Yeah. Also, like, I don't know if you heard, like, I'm just hyper vigilant right now. I don't know if you heard about the teenage girl. She was 16 years old. A 35-year-old man asked for her number. She said no because she was a literal child. He killed her, hit her with her car, and it cut her body in half. Because a child wouldn't give him her phone number. That's what we're dealing with. Or that guy that I told you guys about the other day outside of the club that was on CCTV footage where he was trying to flirt with this woman and then she was like, no. He tried to kiss her. She said no. And then he tried to snap her neck. She ended up beating the brakes off of him. Good for her. She beat the shit out of that guy, okay? But or this is from years ago. Apparently she was an undercover cop. I just saw this footage though. A guy tried to rob a woman. This is off topic, but I saw this and it was crazy, and the audio is insane. It's CCTV footage. She's walking down the street. Guy approaches her, starts talking to her, tries to rob her. She grabs her bag and is like, it's like, let go. And he's like, I'm gonna kill you, let me go, or you'd have to kill me to get me to let go, or something like that. And she goes, okay, watch this. Shoots him, and then he starts going, I'm sorry. She was apparently an off-duty cop, and that's why she had the gun with her. But you literally hear the audio go, you'll have to kill me to get me to stop. And she goes, watch this. And then he immediately starts apologizing, because men will do whatever the fuck they think they want to, because they think you can't defend themselves. And that's why, fuck politeness, claw their fucking eyeballs out. I'm dead serious. I'm not kidding. If you come at me in any capacity, I'm going to make it so you can, one, never bear children again, and two, maybe not see out of your left eye, okay? I might die in the process. You might kill me, but I will make sure you're fucking maimed, okay? That's so horrible. May she have justice. What the Sigma? Snapping someone's over rejection is genuinely insane. It's fucking horrifying. And there's that's not a new thing. Someone freaking out over rejection is not a new thing. This isn't an incel thing. This is something that's been going on since I was in middle school. I've always heard stories of just give them a fake number. That's something I've been told since I was fucking 13. Shivs in pockets, yes. He was saying, stop, you actually shot me. Yeah, he was robbing her ass. Something, this is why women prefer the bear. God, yeah. I've always said the eyes and ears go first. Go for the throat. That makes me think about the Lolita. Someone dressed up in Lolita fashion who beat up a robber with an expensive metal scepter. Let's fucking go. Go for the throat and or balls. Balls are, but again, you got to do the balls. You got to go for the throat quickly. Go for the, if you go for the balls and they go down, go for the throat immediately and then get the fuck out of there. Don't stand around and wait. I'm dead serious. Like if you can feasibly remove yourself from the situation after you've slowed them the fuck down, get the fuck out. Bears just scary puppies. See, that's the thing. It's like once you've seen a bear literally react with glee to seeing your biology lab professor, it's not surprising that people are choosing the bear. Forget even like the men element of things. Like I have seen bears actually react like actual fucking dogs. Like and again, you know a bear is dangerous. You go into the wilderness, you're like, I'm in this bear's home. If you see a cub, you're like, fuck, okay. But like, you know something bad is going to happen. You know there's a high likelihood that this animal might try and kill you, okay? But there is also the opportunity that you could not die. With men, you don't fucking know. But apparently, the average setup now currently is men being like, but I could do something to you. And it's like the thought of like a man choosing to use intimidation in that moment where it's like, yeah, hi, I'm worried because we're alone in the woods together. Like I am concerned. Can you not be fucking creepy? And it's like, but I could do something if I wanted. Why the fuck would you tell me that? Nature is not evil. The bear attacked was because they were going to do something evil. The bear attacked was because they were going to do something evil. Was not, yeah. Still, you make enough noise and a bear will go away. Men won't. Yeah. No, see, that's the thing. A bear will be like, whoa, this person's bigger than me. Whoa, okay. And then you have men where it's like, oh, you think I'm going to hurt you? What if I actually hurt you? What are you doing? What are you talking about? What? Why would you think that's better? Oh, she thought I was going to hurt her, so I hurt her. What? It's the implication. Yeah, the implication of my foot in your fucking throat. All you have to do is remain calm. Most animals, even predators, only really attack when they feel threatened. Yeah. A K-pop idol while she was on stage dancing? Yeah. There's videos of people walking into grocery stores and just picking up kids from next to their moms and trying to walk out with them. Like, people are fucked up. I watched this insane police cam footage because that's one of my toxic traits. I watch public freakouts because the former service employee, I love watching service employees crash out on fucked up customers. My favorite pastime. However, I do occasionally watch police body cam footage, okay? And I watched this insane one where it was kids ran to like a boat dock and were like, this guy is trying to take me home. He says he's my dad. He's not my dad. And so they call the police. Police comes up and the guy is so calm and casual explaining his fucking lie of like, oh, that's my kid. And the cops are like, the kid says they don't know who you are. And it's like, oh no, I'm the stepdad. Well, you just said that's your kid. Yeah, it is my kid. They're confused because I haven't seen them. Like, it was like, it's delusion, but it was explained in such a way where I'm just like, I think you should be punched in the dick and in the face and maybe lose your ability to be outside. Like, it's fucking insane. It's really scary. Love me some Code Blue Cam. Midwest Safety is the one that I've been seeing a lot of their videos. They have some crazy ones. Growing up in boys' school, I had to argue all the time that some classmates, the period pain, cramps, does not equate to kicking in the balls. God. Wait, the implication was meant to be a joke reference to It's Always Sunny. No, I know. Exactly what you're talking about, though. No, I know. I know. But the implication of my foot down your throat. Again, I'm not saying that to you. I'm saying the implication of my foot down your throat. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying my foot down your throat. Sorry. I understand how that could have come off that way. I got what you meant. I know about the implication. I'm just saying. The civil rights lawyer is good, too. Absolutely love them, too. That's just crazy. What the fuck? Men can be deceptive, cunning, malicious, and unpredictable. Bears have pretty simple motivations and aren't going to try to trick you. Yeah, exactly. It's like when I have Hermes, okay? And it's like I'm not going to equate having Hermes as a puppy to having a baby, okay? Because like Hermes is a dog. A baby's a human. You know, like there's different emotions, there's different behaviors, there's different things. Same goes. Has some crazy ones. Yeah. Ugh. As people think they're dangerous, but a lot of times you can scare them off and avoid them. Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, I refuse to be scared to go outside. I refuse to be scared to try new things and talk to strangers and talk to new people, you know. But also, people give me shit for being hyper vigilant a lot of the time. But also, I very publicly travel alone. And people oftentimes, from time to time, I get shit because of the way I handle certain fan interactions. Sometimes you guys overstay your welcome, and it starts making me uncomfortable. And I understand that that can feel shitty when you think you're having a very normal interaction with someone, but they're acting uncomfortable. I understand that that can feel shitty as a man. However, my job as a single woman that travels alone without security is to be able to get myself out of a bad situation. And if me thinking that you are making me uncomfortable is going to get me out of that situation and possibly prevent something from turning south before anything bad even happens, I'm going to fucking do that because my physical safety is a little bit more important than your feelings in that moment, respectfully. What the dog doing? Sleeping. He's behind me. Boys are dumb in school. I once had a soccer ball hit me between my legs and they tried saying I saw a guy because it hurt me. Oh, you were a guy. Not at all because a soccer ball hit me. Weird. All right, buddy, got down the line. My team wants me to hire one now, chat. Anarchy wants me to hire one. My dad has talked about it. I don't think we're at that point yet, but like it will be like one thing. Like I'm sure it'll be one instance of one of the stalkers coming at me. It'll be an instance of me turning someone down and it flipping a dime. Like I'm sure it'll be, I would like it to not be super severe, but like there will come a time where I have to either start hiding my identity when I go out for events or I'm going to have security. But we've definitely talked about it. Most bear attacks happen because people are stupid, like wanting to feed or pet the bear. Men are wild and unpredictable creatures, yes. If I ever saw Swell IRL, I'd probably just yell, "Hey, Swell," from across the room and then apologize for in the next live stream. No, that's fine. Like Anarchy's favorite interactions of me with my fans are drive-bys. Where like we're out in public and then someone walks by and it's like, "Hi, Swell, love the videos," and then they keep walking. Anarchy's like, "That's good. I like that." Which those are nice. They catch you off guard for a second, but it's nice because the interaction is done. You know, thank you, it's cool. If you'd like a photo, that's totally cool. But like the problem usually comes in when they stick around. Now I have had instances where fans are like clearly having a panic attack. I'm the only person they physically recognize. They know we're not friends, but they're like, "Hi, can I please sit with you for 2 seconds while I calm down?" That's one thing. Then it's another thing when a man, specifically a man, which girls can make me uncomfortable too. Obviously, the bathroom story that I've talked about a few times where someone physically turned me around in a woman's bathroom, that was a woman doing that to me. you know? Like, there's things like that that just make me uncomfortable. Do you have a code word for fans instead of I'm a fan? You should have a code word. No, because I have a code word for when I need to get the fuck out of a situation with my friends. So I don't want a code word with instead of I'm a fan. No, I'm a fan is fine, because what happens from time to time, unfortunately, is we have found, okay, Anarchy has deciphered when a fan is going to be frankly, this happens from time to time. If you guys call me swell, it makes Anarchy less uncomfortable. If you guys call me Amanda and you just kind of leave it there like as if we know each other, it makes her very uncomfortable. Like, she's like, the ones that make me less uncomfortable are the ones that are like, hi swell, I like your videos. Like, if you make it very clear that you are a fan, great. It's when you try and play off like you know me as if we are friends, because I have been very clear about the fact that I have very bad memory and I'm very bad with names. Bad memory when it comes to people from time to time, I should say. Events, things, I can detail whole events from the time I was 5, okay? But I'm very bad with names. I just really am. And so there are times where someone is like, oh, hey, Amanda, how are you? Like, and I'm like, do I fucking know this person? Like, and what it is I don't know them. They're just another fan or a creator that I met one time at an event, you know, and it's like we're not friends. That makes Anarchy really uncomfortable. It's jarring when it happens, you know. I feel Amanda's okay without a bodyguard because she sometimes just needs to swap glasses or put on a hat and suddenly she is not perceived. Yeah, my plan is to go incognito quite a bit at TwitchCon. I will be at TwitchCon. I know a lot of people are pulling out of TwitchCon. I'm not doing any live events or anything like that at TwitchCon. I'm not a featured creator at TwitchCon, so I feel fine enough to go to TwitchCon. But I mean, I also have the ability to get the fuck out of TwitchCon, and I'm going to be incognito probably a good portion of TwitchCon is my plan. So yeah, it is what it is. I've worried about you before. I'm sure your team does. Yeah, no, I was telling you guys yesterday, my manager needed my stats for my story views. And she was like, wow, you get a lot of people rewatch your stories. And I was like, yeah, of course they do. I'm adorable, you know. And she was like, you are very adorable. We need to talk about getting you security. She was like, yes, you're very adorable. We're gonna get you security. If we see you is calling it swell ideal. I mean, it's totally fine to call me swell. If you guys call me Amanda, it's fine. It's the calling me Amanda and then playing it off as if we've met before or we are friends. That's the thing that is the uh-oh, what's happening, you know, let's be aware. It makes my friends uncomfortable. Like, it's not a big deal, because, like, I've been around viewers where, like, we end up talking for an hour and it's totally fine, you know. There's also been instances where I physically can't leave a space, like, because it's during an event or whatever, and then the situation gets weird. Oftentimes, that's a man, that's a dude doing that, where it's like overstaying the welcome, or just like they get a little too comfortable, which this happens with me from time to time, chat, where I've talked about this a lot. I have something about me where I don't know if it's my face, I don't know if it's my tone of voice, I don't know if it's my personality. People love telling me things. They love telling me things, okay? I had a January 6er admit to being at January 6th, unprompted to me. I've had people talk about their boyfriend troubles and things like that, unprompted, you know, and they realize halfway through, like, the boyfriend one, I was like 19 and my coworker was like 33, and she was like, why am I telling you this? I was like, I don't fucking know, I really don't want to know. It happens from time to time. Yeah, it's Amanda, OMG, OMG, it's Amanda, the YouTuber, versus Amanda, long time no see. Yeah, you know, and so I don't know if that plays into and like everyone is like, oh, Amanda's very approachable, which I think is also what feeds into this as well. But that's oftentimes where I wonder if that's where the connection is with the uncomfortable switch, where because I'm in an area after we've done the whole, of course we can get a photo type of thing, very normal, whatever, that the switch happens where they get a little too comfortable and they feel comfortable telling me things that then become very uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a tea master. Yeah, that's it. Is I'm a proud Golkinator, okay? Sure. Just got confirmation I'll be working a booth at TwitchCon, first time out, so I'm looking forward to the whole experience. Cool. It is really fun. I really enjoyed TwitchCon. I honestly enjoy it way more than VidCon. A lot of creators feel the same, because it's just a vastly different vibe. Nice. Stay safe and hydrated, Patrick. And just in case, pack a mask or two. Gamers and streamers can be icky. LOL. If I show up as rewatching your stories, it's only because IG's backend is so busted I can't remember the stories I've rewatched, so it shows up as new again. Not Golkinator, LOL. The whole parasocial thing is weird. Yeah. So I don't know if this person is in chat, because I don't know if they said they watched the Twitch streams, but at one of the events recently, I got a photo with someone. It was like, oh, is it okay if we get a photo? I was like, yeah, sure. And then I was with Chris, because we were waiting for, Anarchy was checking on something, and we were standing there, and he was like, yeah, it's great. I get to follow you around. This is now going to be the second time I followed you around at a convention, and then I can watch it later when you do a review. I was like, wow. And Chris was like, did he say that? I was like, yeah, he did. The other time was actually at TwitchCon. This was TwitchCon Vegas. I was with Hassan, which I don't know. I got to check if Hassan is going to TwitchCon this year. I don't know if he is. But we were talking with this group of guys, and like two of the guys were a fan of mine, and they were like, oh, can we get a photo? Like, very chill. We're talking, me and Hassan are talking with them, totally normal. And then like 3 minutes in, one of them goes, yeah, I'm the one that's always asking for foot pics in your DMs. And Hassan's like, oh my God. Whoa, okay, he did that. Yeah, okay, we actually have to go now. And Hassan the entire rest of the day was like, wow. So the entire time we were talking, that guy was looking at your feet and probably thinking about your feet. Wow, I really don't like that. That's really uncomfortable. I really, really don't like that. TwitchCon Vegas was truly something else too, yeah. TwitchCon Vegas is where my credit card got scammed. My credit card info. I think it was the, I low-key think it was the pizza spot that was at TwitchCon Vegas. What the fuck is wrong with men? Yeah. So it's just like, it's things like that, you know, that make me, I don't know if this is helping at all, but it's just like in the way. Let me try keeping my, there we go. It's a little better. It's behind my back. Let's see if that helps. But far too many men. Yeah, no, and it's like, the ones that have physically touched me, it's usually a woman that's making me uncomfortable. Honestly. There's been a few instances where a guy is normal, and then we go for a photo, and he gets just a little bit too intimate in the photo. Like talking to me very close while they're taller than me type of thing. Giving very much boyfriend behavior. That's usually where my friends are like, we have to fucking go, you know, because we're already taking the photo, you know, and it just gets a little too intimate and it makes everyone uncomfortable. We have to get you a different chair. I think that might be it. I think it might be the chair time. I think it might be chair. I think it might be chair. Maybe I'll check Facebook Marketplace and see if any of the not the resurrection. Why am I forgetting the word? We need to get Swell a new chair and camera fund. Rapture, yes. Forgot the word fucking rapture. Meanwhile, I was punching the air that I want to say hello and intro myself, but then I was stuck in line behind you for a panel. I hate when I want to say bye and the person is still there. Yeah, no. But Sparkly, like, you were very, like, Sparkly, when I explained to you, you were extremely normal. Like, when I explained to you how wildly normal you were, and, like, you were, like, then on your phone. You weren't, like, looking, I think you were, like, on your phone or you were talking with someone else, but, like, you weren't, like, expectantly looking at me, waiting for me to continue talking with you, you know? Like, you saw I was with Hassan, we were waiting for the panel, you know? Like, you were very normal. You were like, okay, I'm done now, you know? Not Facebook Marketplace. Allegedly, a house was sold for $10K. Incredible. Rapture that chair. This chair is broken. Like, I need to be done with this chair. I broke this when I got way too excited during a race. Was it Australia? I think it may have been during Australia when last year. I think that's when I broke the chair. I like just got in this chair then too. What's crazy is how some people assume their kids aren't getting raptured, but they were. Like, huh? You think your minor isn't getting raptured? I thought it was dumb. Pulls out the armrest. Yeah, sometimes when I'm really worked up during a race chat, I just go like this. I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god. Or I like hold it. Like it's a safety blanket. It's cracked. Like that's the plastic split. Because I curled into a ball while I was yelling and it broke. Emotional support armrest. Yeah, like if I get rid of the chair, I'm gonna have to keep the armrest for funsies. I understand you because I got harassed by a woman a lot because I'm in a hijab. So when I see it's only women around, I take it off just to find women trying to touch my hair and stuff. Ooh. See, I just want everyone to stop. Don't touch me. You know, like I'm a touchy-feely person, but it's when I'm touchy-feely when I know you. You know, like don't touch me, please. Ooh. I also hold grudges. Like there are things that I hold on to a long time. Like someone touched Anarchy's hair unprompted without permission one time, and I'm still mad about it. I still want her to send an angry email to their employer like, "Hey, this was really fucking weird and a microaggression," because it was. It was very weird. I'm still upset about it. I think I'm probably more upset about it than she was. Because she was like, "That was weird." And I'm like, "No, that's not fucking okay." I'm just in the area that I want to say hello. Some people assume their kids are getting raped. White woman touched my hair like it's a lucky rock. That's insane. That's crazy. Oh god, I'm sorry. Don't touch people you don't know is a good rule of thumb for everyone. Yeah, it's just like you know, and it's another thing where it's like personal space as well. Like the lack of personal space, like the amount of people that definitely like when they see me wearing a mask at something. I got another email today, which was very kind. It was someone thanking me for masking at events and talking about it, like refusing to be a super spreader in videos and things like that, which I'll probably end up masking at TwitchCon just because a week or so later is when, is it? No, I'll have been at, I gotta check the dates. I'm doing Vid Summit this year as well, chat, which is before TwitchCon. So I might mask at that one depending on how crowded it gets, because sometimes it gets pretty crowded. And then I'll probably, because of how close it is, I'll probably end up masking at TwitchCon just to be safe, you know, because there's other events in the mix in there too. I'll probably mask this weekend at LA Comic Con, which is not going to have a full video because I did a full video on that 2 years ago. I don't think it's full video worthy, but I do want to go, and it's an easy event for me to go to. So I wore a mask, and one time these teenage boys just walked up and coughed in my face. Yeah, I think we should start punching people again. I'm sorry. I really, not to advocate for violence, but you just learn to deal with it because the scary black man has to be cognizant of how he comes off to others. Ugh. That doesn't mean they should be allowed to touch you. That's crazy. But yeah, the thing that I saw, I've been like, because like I showed you guys some of the dating TikToks I've been getting. I did see someone where it was out with she was like, what is going on with men? What is happening? And what she was explaining was her and her friends were out at a bar or something like that. And this guy came up and just kind of got in their personal space and started trying to hit on one of her friends. And her friend was like, oh no, I'm not interested, whatever. And he just wouldn't leave. And so they were like, can you go? And he was like, no, you can leave. If she's not happy with me being here, you can leave. And basically, like, a lot of people in the comment sections were like, yeah, no, it's punishing you for not being attracted to them and not being interested. So it's like, now you have to deal with their presence. It's like, what? What happened to walking away? What happened to being like shooting your shot and walking away? Is traumatized after seeing how weird men behave when they are in a group there are a group in the presence of a woman. I work in a male dominated field. Oh, what do you mean? Spray with a water bottle like you do with cats and dogs. Yeah. Real shit. Someone touched it on a dare, and when I turned around, she was on the floor in the fetal position because she was convinced I was going to swing on her. What the fuck? No dignity? I guess because it's just like That's called stalking. I don't know if it's necessarily stalking, because stalking is a prolonged behavior of intimidation. Like just not leaving someone alone in the night. Like not like, let's say just not it is intimidation. It is, you could argue, harassment and bothering behavior, but it's stalking is a prolonged conscious behavior of intimidation and following and harassment. Stalking in one night, I don't think classifies as stalking, unless they went to another venue and then that person still followed them. Then we could maybe argue stalking, but I do still think it's a prolonged behavior. But intimidation and harassment, absolutely, at that point. And it's like, it's just kind of like, what the fuck? What are you doing? I was out shopping, going in and out of stores, and I had my mask on outside, and these two dude bros started harassing me over it and threatened to beat me up. What the fuck is wrong with people? Like, I still get messages from time to time where it's like, you don't need to wear a mask. We got rid of COVID. COVID is fake. And it's like, I'm sorry. The fact that there are people, millions of people died, like the concept of people now in 2025 still being like, COVID was a lie, Fauci made it up, is fucking wild to me. Because it's like, I don't know a single person in my life that hasn't lost like at least one person, or someone was not violently ill from COVID. And yet they're like, no, COVID was fake. I'm like, do you think these millions of people just like poofed out of existence? What do you mean? What do you mean? Every piece of romantic media ever made before Me Too romanticized persistence. It's not persistence though, because it's persistence where it's like, I'm gonna, be patient and wait for you. I'm gonna be persistent and be like, hey, I'm really into you. I'm gonna be over there though. Like there's persistence, and then there's being angry and standing at the table of the woman who just rejected you and refusing to move. And if you don't like me being here, you can move. That's not persistence. That's being a prick. That's what that is. You got rid of it, or it's fake. Which is it? It's just like the concept of it being fake is absolutely absurd to me. And it's like that thing where I was mentioning as well with the concept of like people that were like very pro-vaccines being very anti-vaccines because of COVID, COVID is fake is a crazy take. What do they think happened? They think it was a pandemic. They think it was fake. These people are not bright. I don't know how to explain it, because like there's really is no negotiating with some of these people. Like they watch one YouTube video and it does get them, but then it's like, okay, here's a YouTube video that disproves what you're talking about. And it's like, no, that's fake news. And I'm like, I feel like we're going fucking crazy. I avoided it for 2 years and would never wish it on anyone. I still keep 6 feet to this day. I didn't get COVID until New Year's Eve 2021, and I truly felt like the weakest link. Like I was like, this is an embarrassing fucking time to get it. I really felt, I was more embarrassed than I felt violently ill. I was only violently ill for about 12 hours, which when I got it, they believed it was the Omicron variant, I believe, that was going around, which was very contagious but fairly mild. What lasted the longest was the brain fog for me. And then I didn't get COVID again after that. Of our country is literally living in some kind of delusional state. Yeah. I work in an industry that talks to nurses a lot, and the trauma that nurses have from the first month of COVID is staggering. Yeah. I don't doubt it. It was the 5G towers making everyone sick. Wake up, sheeple. No. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, I had my video go viral on YouTube literally 4 days before San Francisco declared a state of emergency because of COVID. Okay. I was at a UFO con. I was at a UFO convention in San Francisco. Okay. And people's talks about aliens, this was when the death toll in China was rising at the time. Okay. This was end of February. Okay. People's talks, they started saying insane, like there were statistics where it's like, these people are not dead from COVID. They've been beamed up to the starseed galaxy to be sex slaves. Like insane shit. Where I was just like, okay, I see where I'm at. I understand where I'm at. And no one was like, hey, that's fucking crazy. They were like, oh no, they're not dead. They're going to be sex slaves. And it's like, that's not better, frankly. Like it was wild shit in 2020. There was crazy shit going on. Like, I thought about that again the other day because I thought about a tweet the other day where I was reading, like, it was 2 months or so into lockdown, okay, which obviously wasn't a real lockdown, but I was reading a book and I remember having the genuine thought, because two characters held hands or were sitting next to each other on a bench, and I had the genuine thought of, they can't do that. That's not social distancing. Like, that's how crazy the social distancing, lockdown, rhetoric, like 6 feet, all of that. Like, I had the genuine thought of, oh my God, they're not social. Like, it was like a genuine, true, vulnerable thought reading this book where I was like, oh my God, they're gonna get sick. Like, and this was a book that had been published years before, did not talk about COVID whatsoever. But I had a true, real thought of, oh my God, they're gonna get sick. That's how ingrained the fear was in a lot of people. And it's like something where people just like, we moved on from that. That's not healthy. That's insane. How conservatives were chanting "My body, my choice" 5 years ago, only to harass people for masking. No, it's insane. And then you got Nick Fuentes saying "Your body, my choice." I don't feel bad he got threats over that one. I don't. That was a fucking wild statement. Talked about vaccines causing cardiomyopathy 3 days ago. God. I had COVID yet. Not trying to start now. Exactly. My sister worked in an assisted living facility. I think like half of the residents died. Yeah. No, it was insane, chat. And it's like, my dad and I had a lot, like, so Lisa's dad had passed before. I believe her mom passed in 21. My grandmother passed in 2019. And my dad and I had the real thought of, honestly, thank God my grandmother passed when she did, because she did not, she was one of those people that got really mean at the end, which is, I think, really common that a lot of people don't talk about, where once you realize like you're kind of towards the end of your life and you're realizing you have very little control over your days and things like that, because you just get to an age where you can't have control. A lot of people get very mean at the end. Lisa was the same way. And we were just thinking like, God, thank God we weren't dealing with her in hospice for my grandmother during COVID. Like, that would have been a fucking nightmare. Thank God she wasn't in her old folks apartment complex. Like, thank God, you know, the facility that Lisa's mom was in, that it was a very small facility, and they locked down very early on, very quickly, you know, invade my personal space. Isn't the plot of Ice Planet Barbarians, is that the reason why the series went viral in 2020? What do you mean? I felt the exact same way, but was TV shows I saw characters like right next to each other on these big events, and it freaked me out. Yeah. No, there's things that I still won't do now post-COVID. Like, I used to spend a lot of time at indoor trampoline parks, barefoot, on giant trampolines. I have not been back since COVID because I thought about it and I was like, actually, that's disgusting. That's frankly rank. No spooky came. We're just talking. I don't feel too hot. Maybe I'm spoiled, but to me, that's the fun type of crazy. Give me interdimensional sex slavery every day. No, I was told so if you guys want to go watch that video, it's still up. It's the UFO con video. It's from 2020. It's the last event that I reviewed before lockdown, and it was interesting because I ended up going to you can really see how it happens with people, like being sucked in, because I ended up sitting in on an abductee like group therapy session, and they knew I was a YouTuber. They knew that I was going to talk about it. I was like, I'm not filming. I just want to I want to hear, I want to learn. And they were very receptive to that. But then they were adamant of being like, are you sure you're not an experiencer? And they started asking a lot of questions about like very little things in my life. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I've sleptwalked for years. Like I've had night terrors. And they're like, that's a symptom of being an abductee. You're an experiencer. You're one of us. Like, it was, And these people in this group fully believed everything, which I don't doubt that they've experienced something. I don't know if it's necessarily alien abduction, but that's what this group was for people who believed they had been abducted by aliens. And a lot of them were just talking about the anxiety that they have over not being believed. And it's like not having, like, one man full on had, like, and he was older, he full on had like a full breakdown panic attack in the trying to explain not just what happened to him, but the fact that no one would listen to him, and like he couldn't go to, quote, regular therapists. Like, it was, and you just see, but then they were all so adamant, like, no, I'm like, I don't believe I'm an experiencer, which at the time there was things that hadn't happened yet. I didn't tell them about like the my possible Bigfoot encounter that I've talked about here and stuff like that. But you know, it was just like they were so adamant of trying to like convince me that I had experienced something. You know what I'm saying? I still work in pizza delivery back in early COVID, and I just remember how we were treated like we were completely expendable as essential workers, not making enough to pay our bills. Yeah. The guy talking about the weather machine, classic shit. No, that was 2019. That was the raid on Area 51. Got a dart. I need to go to bed before my flight tomorrow. Bye, Sparkly. I'm not going to be live much longer anyway. I think I just need to go. I need couch time. I think that I need couch. I think that's what I need. It's scary days. I didn't really like to remember them because I lost so many family members and friends. I can't even go to funerals. I just hate it. Yeah. I think the plot of Ice Planet Barbarians books are about kidnap people for smacks. Oh, yes, I get your point. No, I don't think that had any plot to do. They was basically intergalactic human trafficking is the start of the plot of Ice Planet Barbarians. Then the ship that the women are being trafficked on crashes, and most of the aliens that were trafficking them die, including some of the girls. And they're on an ice planet they call Not Hoth, and then they end up finding some of them go and explore and try and find, you know, civilization. One of them finds the head of this tribe of aliens, and they realize, like, oh, there are ways to keep these women alive. They need cuis. It's a whole thing. Okay. Couch masking rot pilled. And I think they went viral because it's like so many things went viral like crazy in 2020. Like I do have hard copies of one of the Ice Planet Barbarians books. I have read most of them at this time. I'm still a bit more wary of touching public services that probably don't get cleaned enough, the public transportation, but I'm also a big fan of the 5-second rule and will presumably eat presumably fresh roadkill. Wow. This is a real book, not like Scientology canon volume. No. So Ice Planet Barbarians is sci-fi, but they are sci-fi romance books basically, with blue aliens. It's literally called Ice Planet Barbarians, and it's like a barbarian tribe on this ice planet that they call Not Hoth, where there had been a very severe sickness years before that killed off many of the women in the tribe. So there's very few women left, and so there's a lot of unmated males. Okay, so when a ship full of women shows up, it's a smut series. A lot of people like it. There's a lot of sci-fi. I did do a video on Ice Planet Barbarians for at least the first book, I believe. The book cover is crazy. W smut, yeah. Lugwood's Fast 52 hours straight live at the venue in LA. Probably not. I've never heard of it prior to just now. It would be so unplayful, whether you believe it or not, for them to fully believe their own experience and no one believe them. It must be so isolating. No, I agree. And again, it's one of those things. There's a reason when I go to events chat, I'm very much like, I'm going in open-minded. I'm going in with the sole goal of having fun and reviewing the event. I am not here to judge the people that are in attendance. That's not my goal, which I think personally gets me a very interesting look at a lot of these events and the subcultures that are in these events. And, you know, I do, like, that's why when I go to, like, going to the Bigfoot event this year and stuff, like, there were things that I heard that were objectively insane. And obviously now I'm older and I have a much better view of understanding of the fact that a lot of um, conspiracy theories and paranormal theories and things like that when it comes to aliens are deeply rooted in anti-Semitism and various forms of racism and dog whistles and things like that. And so that's something that I can't turn that part of my brain off when I go to these events where I'm like, this sounds racist. You know, like I can't turn that part of my brain off because I am now further educated on a lot of the, you know, the fact that like the lizard people concept is incredibly anti-Semitic. Like, it's really hard once you learn that to be like, oh yes, this is just standard crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really hard not to turn to not think of that. So I wouldn't say I'm open-minded and like I'm going to believe everything, but I try and at least turn that judgmental part of my brain of like this is crazy off. I try to do that because that's not, at the very least, I feel like that gets me a better unbiased view of documenting things at the very least for the video, if not for the review of the event itself, you know? Bedtime, bye. This wasn't written by an incel. No, it was written by a woman. Oh my God, there's like 20 of them. Yes. They were started being written in 2013. They went wildly popular in 2020 from CPTSD over getting COVID so badly early in 2020. Fire in the Sky is such a good movie, still holds up. My infection left me disabled though. Post-viral conditions are no joke. Yeah, 100%. If it's written by women, then it's femcel, but this book particular, no, not one. The well has been thoroughly poisoned, so much so that well poisoning is an actual anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. God. Code romance book you talked about on Smosh. Yeah, I didn't just talk about it for no reason. There's a video on it. I read all 3 of those books. Romancing the Coronavirus, Seducing the Coronavirus, where coronavirus becomes a sentient being. That reminds me, I need to write my crack book ideas and just self-publish them for funsies, because I do have so many book ideas that are like, it would be like a short novella, borderline crack, and I do think I should put those out, because I do think they would do well. 24-hour live stream loading. No, I'm going to wrap this up soon, because I'm not feeling too hot. You know what you say about the abductees and finding a lot of sympathy for them is what I hear from people who interact with the furry community as outsiders as well. You know, I've interacted with the furry community, right? I've done a furry video. There are furries that tell me I am the only normie that is allowed to make videos on the furries. Under your full name? Yeah, why not? I do have a pen name already picked out, though, but that's for something else. Amanda Golka writes, crack cocaine novel. Publish those crack fics. Be the next Chuck Tingle. God, I would kill as Chuck Tingle. Literally my dream, just to write the most insane shit. Like, I have very detailed, well thought out, complex themed novels in my brain that I just need to sit down and force myself to finish, okay? And then I have insane books that I know would sell well because they're just fucking insane. It'd be funny you publish crack books in your full name but not your more serious ones with a pen name. That would be great. Maybe that's what I do. Like, I have just the most unserious, because I feel like that would make it so that I could continue to do the work that I do because no one would take me seriously. I'm playing chess, not checkers. Quan Mills is currently the standard. No, Quan Mills is great. Quan Mills is very funny. And it's so funny because everyone that has read, quote, his novel, This Hoe Has Roaches in Her Crib, I believe is the title of the book. They're like, this book is so well written and very sad. I was not expecting this to be so sad. He's doing like a big clean out of that book right now, I believe. I keep seeing his videos where he's like signing a bunch of copies because I think he's delisting it. He published crack books. The only conspiracy theory I believe is in Pokemon are real and the government are not allowed us to have them. Just gangs of Japanese businessmen who snuggle Snorlaxes on the weekends? Maybe. So do I, Amanda. First live I caught. So excited for live reaction, Amanda. I'm going to wrap this up soon, Kat. I'm so sorry. I'm not feeling too hot. And my neck's been bugging me. I want a convention horror story written by you at this point. We were talking about a mobile game idea involving conventions that I have because I think it would be really fun. I do have a mobile game app design idea that I would really like to do. That is not what I was looking into for a developer for, though. But no, I do like a convention horror that's kind of in the style of not the same thing, but the I feel you. I spent all day on the couch watching the F1 Academy series. Oh, did you finally find it, Temple Tam? Jump scare vendors. Well, I just feel like there is, like, I kind of like the concept of like horror convention where someone gets locked in because they want to steal shit, and then everything turns out to be like a real, like at night everything comes to life and tries to kill them. I think that would be fun. I also like a very normal convention that for some reason seems never ending, and at first they're really excited and then they realize they can't leave. Like I do like something like there's a horror, an orgy con. No, I've not been to orgy con. I've been to an adult video con. I've not been to orgy con. The crack collection. I found it. He didn't reply. He did accept my connection on LinkedIn. So I'm not going to message him anything yet. I'm going to wait. But I'm going to try and use the fact that he is now a connection of mine on LinkedIn to connect with other people at SaleGP. Is there a video? A video for AVN Expo? Yeah, just look up AVN Expo. There's an AVN Expo and an AVN Awards video with a blurred out thumbnail. Night in museum, but horror convention. That sounds fun. Oh man, the medievals used to write stories about having too much fun and not being able to stop until they die. Super spoopy. Oop. Yeah, so I'm going to wait out the SaleGP follow-up because I think I need a little more credit. I think him accepting the connection is one thing. And then let's see if I can get everyone. And then I put everyone into a group chat. And I'm like, I'm sure you're wondering why I've gathered you all here today. We need to fix this. A Swell video? Yes, it's on Swell Entertainment. A bit of the second Scooby-Doo live movie for things coming to life. Well, there's a lot of different instances of things coming to life. It's very night at museum concept and things like that. But like, I do feel like there's a lot of fodder within the horror convention genre, like of things, you know. I mean, not even just Scooby-Doo. Like, there's also Hocus Pocus. Like, there's quite a few movies where there's a horror element of things becoming real, you know. Dude, what about a corporate convention horror story? All the branded merch coming to life to terrorize in the name of capitalism. I do like the concept because, like, obviously the ones I'm thinking about, like, obviously the protagonists are going to be all, like, younger. Although I do like the protagonists being like, oh, okay, hang on. Horror on multiple levels. This is full crack, okay? Because my godfather lost his job a couple of months ago and has been trying to get hired. He was finally hired after, at his big age of 63, okay? 5 rounds of interviews. Everyone has to do it. It's not just like a Gen Z thing, a millennial thing where like every company has like some insane amount of interviews. He is an adult. He has been in the workforce for 40 plus years, okay, 50 years, and he still had to do 5 rounds of interviews, okay? And I think that if that is so I'm thinking like a 60-year-old, like 40 to 60 years old, potentially, okay, protagonist, okay? He is now an intern. So we got the horror of the economy. He's lost his job. He is now starting from scratch. He literally has to be an intern at 40 years old. And now he has no choice but he is being expected to go and report back on this corporate convention, this expo for his industry. Okay. The other interns are a bunch of 20-somethings. But the story follows this 40-year-old dude. And then we have just the true horror of capitalism in an expo, a business expo setting. There's also, so there are death industry conventions as well, like expos for like the death industry. Dude. To die was the fire marshal trying to shut things down. Yeah. No, I do like the concept of like the event itself is wildly unsafe and disorganized, but that's actually never addressed. Like it's just another, like that's not part of the horror. It's happening. It's making everything incredibly uncomfortable and unsettling, but the actual horror, like the big horror, is not how unsafe it is. You know, that's just also like, yeah, everything's unsafe and now there's zombies too. You know? Wasn't that the plot of The Intern? No, the plot of The Intern is that he is retired and he decides he wants a job. Not necessarily he needs money, necessarily. The horror of capitalism with the whimsy of older folk interaction with the younger generation and trying to figure out how to communicate with them. LOL. Exactly. Job security. Hell yeah, that's amazing. I grew up going to medical conferences with my doctor mom, and some of those mascots for meds in the early 2000s still give me nightmares. Yep. I think so, but you know, make it spooky. My fave horror story tidbit interpretation is that Chucky was made and modeled after the My Buddy doll marketed at boys, and conservatives were so afraid of gender rules stretching. Someone brought in a real Necronomicon to sell, and someone else read the Latin. The movie was scary about how little it made me laugh. Source credit to Mr. American Girls channel. Okay, my neck's feeling a little better. I don't know if it's because I haven't thought about it for a second or what. Maybe it's psychosomatic. Maybe my neck is psychosomatic, chat. This sounds like a Shirley Jackson book. I dig the idea of horror set at a cosplay convention wherein the elders or Gen Zs trying to corral Gen Alphas around. I would watch that. Really enter horror starring iPad kids. Okay, picture this. Okay. Oh, okay, wait. Plot. Here we go. New one. Maybe I just do a whole series of convention-based horror novels. Okay. Fandom convention, except it's the main character is the dad that I saw at Gen Con, okay? Who had his 3 daughters all on the bungee leashes, okay? So he is operating on getting his kids out without letting his daughters know that they are in a horror movie situation. Okay, so he's dealing. Because the concept of why are your children on leashes? And then also, okay, now everything's bad. I literally drew a photo. Hold on, let me see if I still have the photo. I literally sent a photo to Marissa because I was so floored by this. Hold on, let me see. I was like, I need you to see what I'm looking at right now. But I didn't want to take a photo because obviously they were children. So I drew her. Hang on. Let me see if I still have it. Here we go. This is what I sent Marissa. Let me see if it focuses. Focus. Might not work because it's a mirror. But yeah, it was a dad with his 3 daughters on a bright pink, purple, like the bungee, like the bungee cords for like a ball, but they were attached to his wrist, and then his daughters, like they were dogs. Have a fun movie start with the nanny telling the father how it will lead to his downfall. Wow, girls, no, that's just an amazing cosplay. They're taking a picture. Definitely not a real zombie. Yeah. See, I want one that's a slasher movie, but not like mass shooter. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like the capitalism one, you would understand why someone's like, I'm going to destroy capitalism and therefore I'm just going to start killing everyone. Like, there's that. But I like the slasher element where he's just like, yeah, I fucking hate these guys, and he's like a stereotypical slasher mass stabber. No, not slasher is very different than like a mass murder casualty event. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking more like the horror. Have you guys ever seen the Collector series, the Collector's movies? The Collector, the Collection, the Collector. Have you guys seen these? The second one starts in a nightclub, okay? Because the whole point of the Collector is that he wants one person. He will break into a home, he will break into a club, and he will kill everyone aside from the person that he wants to add to his collection. He will make them watch everyone else die aside from the person that he wants. And so, and everyone dies in horrific ways. It's truly traumatizing. I don't recommend it if you're not good with horror and gore. But it is a very interesting take on the slasher genre, personally. Have it be the guy who has to clean up and hide the bodies of the actual killer? Like the coiled ones, like an old iPhone cord, but thicker, or a leash for like a boogie, like a leash for a boogie surfboard, like the bungee, like the woo, like those, like a slinky, but the bungee cord. More like a Jason Halloween style slasher or Scream. I mean, I'm both. One of my favorite horror movies is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, not the remake that they did. That is basically a Republican horror movie. An aggrieved ex-business partner who is forced out of the convention, running business right before they hit it big. It's so very difficult to hit it big in conventions. It's so very difficult. Hellfest is like, no one knows there is a killer and just these people are being hunted. And yes, the Collector is fucked up. The company doesn't want to lose shareholder value, so his literal job is to hide the actions of a known serial killer from the public. But yeah, so like I like the less like Batman as a serial killer style slashers personally. Which is more what I would put the Jason and, Michael Myers in the category. I do like Jason because I do think it's funny. But did we touch on the Terrifier movies? Those are crazy. I don't watch the Terrifier movies. I just also, once the director said that like horror is not political, I was just like, nope, you've lost me fully. The company doesn't want to lose shareholder value. I love a monster movie, though. I love slashers and I love a monster movie. Also, I love an science fucked up movie. Ooh, I did like the concept of like I did think about this science convention where all of it, like, so science expo, okay? Again, I want to do a nuclear horror novel so bad, chat. I want to do a nuclear horror novel so badly, okay? You're at a science convention. Everything seems so normal. Then some dude is like, look what I bought from that gift shop over there. And he opens up a tube and all the dosimeters start going off in the convention. They just all go off like fucking crazy. And everyone loses their fucking shit. Because what the fuck was that? Where the fuck did you buy it? Everyone's freaking the fuck out. Everyone thinks they've been exposed, so everyone starts going fucking crazy. Then you've got the mass panic of it. So it's kind of like crowd crush horror on top of like potentially extreme nuclear radiation horror. You know what I'm saying? I like that. I think that's fucked up. Horror isn't political, yikes. Not like that's almost the whole point of the start of the genre. Yeah, exactly. Good night, y'all. Bye. The Collector is fucked, but it takes me out of it because he's a normal ass guy, but he's essentially Thanos levels of invulnerable. Depends. Because I do think there are people that are super, like, hold on. Temple Dammit flagged the phrase "kill the girl" got flagged. Lives rent free in my head for like 30 years, dude. Yeah, no, you're good. It's the amount of people that worked on the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because they used all real meat in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original one. And so the amount of people that then became like vegetarian from working on it, because they just couldn't stand the smell of meat anymore. Historical drama radiation horror series Chernobyl was gutting. Yep. That's what started our Swell Speedy Science, the science part of Swell Speedy Science September, because I went down a Chernobyl rabbit hole. And we started talking about radiation and things like that and nuclear power. Big personality speakers all trying to take control of the situation at once, only causing more chaos. Well, because I also think there's something very interesting, because I don't know if you guys have ever met scientists. A lot of them have not all of them, a good chunk of them have superiority complexes. So I can also imagine the horror of everyone thinking they are the right person to deal with the problem. So no one is actually dealing with the fucking problem, because they're just yelling about who's fucking in charge. Old movies in general were crazy, even in non-horror movies. Oh, my favorite my favorite practical effect story. I have no idea how real this is. I've heard the story a million times. Have you guys seen season 1 of Supernatural? The bee episode has the funniest. There's a bug episode in the first season of Supernatural, where they wanted to have like CGI bees put in, but it didn't look right. And so they got real bees for the scene where the bees are supposed to come in. And so a bunch of people got stung. They like flooded the attic with bees. And then the bees didn't fucking show up on camera. So then they still had to use the CG bees. Did you ever hear about the guy who killed a person in a low budget horror set and tried to play it off as a prop blood for the cops? Oh God. That's the vampire guy, right? Like he wanted to make like a vampire horror movie or something. A Florida county has approved naming a road after Charlie Kirk. It's been a minute since I read about it, yeah. Yikes, yeah. Gross. Doing amazing things. Every time I log onto Twitter, it's like I run the risk of just being fully traumatized. Horror movie premise: someone finds a murdered body among all the trash left at the Charlie Kirk Memorial. I did have the idea of this concept because there's a lot of people that there's been instances, at least here in the United States, especially there's a big instance here in California, um, of people killing someone, okay, and then setting the house on fire to make it look like they died in a fire. And so after the fires in January, like, because that's how my brain deals with things when I was dealing with like the anxiety of, oh, that's gonna happen again. Um, the concept of, you know, there's a wildfire, neighborhoods destroyed. This house caught fire for some reason. This has a body in it. There's a body in this one. They don't appear to have died from smoke inhalation or from being burned. You know, like I think there's something there where it's like a whole neighborhood has like multiple murders trying to be hidden by a fire. Did you hear YouTube is reinstating all the accounts that got taken down for COVID misinformation? Almost 6 years out? Okay. I have heard nothing of that. Like that one, did that prank guy get banned? The guy that went on a plane and he was like, I don't feel so good and I just got back from Wuhan. That was insane. That guy was insane. Horror movie premise, someone finds a murdered body. Murdered body? Please set it in an HOA neighborhood. Oh, the HOA element works. HOA HOA horror movie. Editor HOA horror novel, LOL. The amount of just like miscellaneous sticky notes I have on my desk because I don't have my notebook up here anymore because it's downstairs. I never got the, oh, I'm gonna murder someone and then burn the house down type of person. It's very often a crime of passion. It's usually not well thought out. It's because people think that, one, it's easy to burn a body. It's not. They also think it's to get rid of evidence a bunch of the time without realizing that it's pretty easy to track back to someone, you know. Like, just burn the house down, no. With the person inside, well, then they could survive. The house burning down part is usually not thought ahead of. It's usually there's a crime of passion, or they just go ahead and kill someone and then they're like, there's a lot of blood. I can't clean this up. I don't know what to do. Okay, I'll just get rid of the evidence, and then they set the house on fire. The house on fire is not like the first thought. It's not like, how can I kill this person? Oh, I'll set the house on fire. The amount of heat you need to get rid of flesh is crazy. Yeah. Oh, there's a fucked up documentary on HBO Max. Have you guys watched? It's called The Mortician. It's about this fucking crazy mortuary in Pasadena, in like that had been in LA for like years. Okay, and basically they were known for cremation because they were doing a ton of cremation like crazy, and turns out they were burning like multiple bodies at a time and just giving out the ashes to people. I mean, like, yeah, that's your family member, when it wasn't. May as well get the house insurance money along with the life insurance payment, LOL. But yeah, that's fucked. No, it's 3 whole episodes. I only made it to episode 2. I haven't gotten through, but I got to the part where they were talking about grave robbing. Now that is capitalist horror. Yeah, and this was in like the 70s and 80s. I wanted my grandma's ashes. No, they talk about a lot of people that were victimized by them because they came so highly recommended. They were already very traumatized because they lost a family member, and then it's like, whose ashes are in my home? Where is my father? You know, it's horrifying. Scary to think you might have some random person's ashes in your house and not know who. How would they even discover that? There was multiple whistleblowers. One guy was one guy was a competitor who was like, the only way that they are able to do the cost that they are charging people and the amount of people that they're doing is by doing a high volume, which means they must be stacking bodies. And the guy hired people to beat him the fuck up when he tried to blow the whistle. And it was just like they, at one point, the guys, he had former gangsters doing the actual burning for him, and they were like high as fuck half the time. One of them is in the dock. Two of them are in the dock. One of them shows his face, the other one doesn't. They were like, yeah, I was high all the fucking time. And basically they ended up, at one point the crematorium like borderline blows up. It like has a massive fire. So that also partially exposes it because they had to bring people in to like deal with the fucking fire, and they realized that there was multiple remains in the chamber that like were not supposed to be there. Well, you'd still get some of Grandma, potentially. Sounds like something Caitlin Doty would make a video about. She may have. I don't know if she has or not. This was a big deal. This was a big story at the time. And it's crazy because they the man who did it is in the dock. His ex-wife is in the dock, and she talks about how he came home one day and he had like a big styrofoam cup that said AG on it. And she then went into the garage to figure out what he was doing, and he was breaking teeth. He had pulled teeth from the bodies. The AG is for gold. If they had gold fillings, he was cracking the teeth and taking the gold fragments out to sell the gold fragments. So again, that's where we got there's grave robbing in there as well. And he talks about it, and he's like, I didn't do that. Sometimes when family members would ask for it because they want it back. And then he talks about the desecration. He's like, that person is dead. The soul is gone. They're not there anymore. If you care about this, you need to get some perspective. Like, it's wildly upsetting. This is going on in Pasadena. It was. Maybe that thought isn't going anywhere. You know, it may feel different when it's an actual family member of mine, but being detached, I feel like it's human. I don't know how to explain it. Like humanity intertwined or something, it's natural. Hello, Caitlin did do a story on this one. I thought it sounded familiar. Okay, maybe that thought isn't going anywhere. That thought can go somewhere. And it's like, I am also one of those people where it's like, I do think that there should be care and respect for, you know, someone's loved one once they've passed. That's my personal opinion. But I also understand like feeling detached about death and this body and things like that, which is, I do think, necessary to be able to be in the mortuary industry, to be in the dying industry. You have to have some form of detachment. Like, these are remains. This is not a person anymore. However, when you mix that feeling with capitalistic greed, I think that's where we get this problem of literally grave robbing and desecrating corpses for the sake of profit. Ag is silver. It may have been AU. She was saying it was gold. It may have said ag on it. It could have been both. I don't know. That's just what the thing said. It'd be so fun to see you and Caitlin go to a funeral undertaking type convention together. It's funny because I read her book in college because I did a sociology of death and dying class. And we read Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, one of her books. I know she's done more, but an anger from the families of loved ones that were put in mass graves during 2021. is not the same as lack of respect. I agree. Yeah, the capitalism and organized crime part made me think that thought isn't going anywhere. Yeah, like he did what he did solely because he wanted to be a rich man and have a lot of profit for his family business, because it was a family business. It was the Lamb Funeral Home. It was the Lamb Funeral Company. His parents did like the embalming process and all of that, and he was like, "Oh, it's cheaper to do cremation. Let's make a lot more money doing cremation," type of thing. Is you see some bad stuff. If you don't detach a bit, you will go crazy. Yeah. But this guy, he like, there's a lot of, there is a, it's one of those things where there is also, I'll never forget during 2021, 2022 times, one of those man on the street interviews that goes up and be like, "Oh, how do you think you're successful? How much money do you make?" That type of thing. And he was like, "Oh yeah, no, we're very rich. We run a funeral home." And he talked about how much business there was because of COVID, and how they are set up for the rest of their lives because of COVID. And it's like, that's something that I also knew from my class in college, with where they talked about one of those. We watched a documentary episode on the one of the death industry expos, and just talking about all the money that goes into funerals. And it's like, yeah, cremation is cheaper, but not that much cheaper, or it's still incredibly expensive. And like, then you have people crowdfunding funeral expenses and things like that. Like, there's so much money. And unfortunately, what a lot of the funeral industry unfortunately preys on is the fact that death is a very uncomfortable topic for a lot of people. There's a reason that I have a will. I am 27 years old with a will. Okay? Because a lot of the funeral industry, unfortunately, not all, but a lot, preys on the fact that you probably never spoke with your family member about what they would want for their funeral. And so it leaves gaps because you're uncomfortable, you're devastated, you're in your grief. And they can be like, "Well, don't you want to give them the best possible coffin? That don't you want them, this is the place they're going to spend their final resting place. Don't you want that to be nice? Don't you want the silk lining? Don't you want the cherry hardwood? You know, don't you want this floral arrangement for their funeral? Let's get you this venue. You want to do this here? What type of chicken do you want at their funeral?" You know, like, that's why you have to talk with your family members. You have to have it laid out. I also have the double-edged sword of coming from a family that is a broken home. And since I'm not married, I did not want my dad to ever have to, if something were to happen to me, I never want my dad or my brother to have to deal with my parent I don't speak to, trying to have any form of control over the end of my life, whether I'm incapable of making a medical decision myself or I have passed on. I'm like, no one's making my death into a fucking, we're not having a fucking Charlie Kirk style memorial for my fucking death. Absolutely not. Went to a church in South Carolina that straight up didn't accept tithes because they had so much money from the funeral industry. Wow. Tithes. Sorry, it's been a minute. It's one of the blessings of cancer. Knowing it's coming, you get a chance to talk about those things. There was a TED Talk that she showed us as well for a doctor who specialized in like geriatric medicine. I don't think that's the right term, but it was like he was talking about the importance of having conversations with your patients, because the amount of times that patients would come in and the family members would say, "We always thought we'd have more time, so we never had these conversations about DNRs, what type of treatment they would allow, end of life care, if they want to be cremated or buried, you know, embalmed, things like that." And the story that he told to start off his TED Talk was a man came in and he was at the point beyond help. All we could do was make him comfortable, and we were asking questions of his daughter and just asking what he wants. And she was like, I don't know. It was like, "Well, why haven't you talked about these things?" And she says, "We always thought we'd have more time." And then he reveals that that patient, her father, was 97 years old. And they still had never had the talks about what they would want, what he would want for the end of his life. Hermes, knock it off. Which is why I've had the talk with my dad now. I've made it very clear to my father, I'm like, lovingly, you're not living in my home. Your parents didn't live with us. Our family members didn't live with us. You're not going to live with me. With love. I will come and check on you. I will make sure you have the best care possible, but you're not living with me. He now owns a home. I'm like, okay, I'm cool with getting you live-in nurses. I'm cool with that at some point if you don't want to go to a home or whatever. There's no stairs. He could be there, you know. But he's not moving in with me. We've been very clear. He's like, that's bullshit. I'm like, I'm sorry. Did your parents live with us? He was like, makes sense. I'm like, yep, exactly. Which is cold, and I understand. But it's one of those things where a lot of parents, especially, I think this is a very white thing. My parents are both white, for those of you that can't tell with the fact that I'm literally paper. It's very like kicking your kids out when they turn 18, things like that. Hermes. Whereas like Lisa, obviously, she passed at home in hospice. My dad and I took care of her. That was a very different story. My dad's mother stayed with my aunt and uncle. My aunt is Italian. She also took care of her mother, you know. So it's like, I think it's a very cultural thing simultaneously as well. Oh, you're fully white? I couldn't tell. Haha. That's an optimistic to say the least. Yeah, my grandfather was very open about what he wanted. Family did their own thing anyways. Yeah, that's why mine's in writing. Mine's in writing. It also says if my wishes are not completed, no one gets money. Hermes, can you stop trying to go on the counter? He might need a WALK. Might be what needed. But like that's why I say like you need to have things laid out personally. And a lot of people don't like laying things out, especially like Lisa was very against having a will for a long time because she thought because of her cancer, once she had everything laid out, that like it would be like a sign. She wasn't religious, but she thought it would be like a sign to the universe that she was ready to go, which a lot of people do believe. I don't think that's the case at all personally. And it's like, no, you want to live. I think that's, you know, unfortunately you are sick, but like as long as you are trying. Hermes, can you fuck off? We're talking about death. He's trying to get my soup on the counter. Oil done by a lawyer like Saul Goodman. Yeah, after my grandfather passed, me and my mom had to sit down and set everything up for when she goes, whenever that may be, because we didn't do that for my grandfather, and it was hell to get things done. Yeah. Especially if everyone has someone in their family who's a messy psycho. Everyone. It's important to have things laid out. Yeah, I've had my power of attorney and will written since I was 21 after my mom passed. Yeah, you know, like you never know, really. COVID, I think, really drilled that into a lot of people that you really never know. Because there were people, also, I don't know if you guys have heard the statistics, but there's an alarming amount of millennials and Gen Zs that are dying younger. And a lot of it is, unfortunately, you know, taking your own life and opioid addictions and various addictions and things like that. But, you know, there's also the effects of long COVID and the like. You know, Hermes knows chat love him. He knows chat loves you. Yes, he knows. Hermes revolts. He says soup or death. Maybe doing this will get him to come up here. It's like that, God. My dad is a messy psycho. I really thought of someone when you said that. Mm-hmm. And death makes people crazy, especially death when there's money on the table makes people crazy. Lisa's family thought there was money that Lisa had. She didn't have anything. She was in pretty decent debt when she passed. They also believed, because they didn't ask, they just assumed that Lisa's insurance was paying for the nurses and like the in-home care. And my dad was like, I am paying for that. They pay for the medication and the bed. That's it. My dad's dad died like 6 to 8 months ago, and he's been going fucking crazy. Yep. Land is divided among 70 people, but we're the only ones paying taxes on it. Also, if you're in a relationship and not married, you need to file the paperwork, especially if you have family that will try and take over that you don't want to. Yeah, no, like Lisa's will was very clear that my dad, everything went to my dad. They'd been together for, God, 12 years, even though they weren't married. And because she didn't have a good relationship with her brothers and she didn't want them to get anything. And they also were like, no, they took my dad to court and the court sided with my dad because her lawyer was like, Lisa was of sound mind when this all happened, you know? And, but it just I almost punched one of her brothers while Lisa was in hospice because he had stopped by for a little bit, which they started doing where they would just like pop in to make an appearance and then pop out. Okay. And it's one thing. Death makes people uncomfortable. I get it. But they were doing it as if they were like taking care of people and they weren't taking care of her and they weren't. And it bothered me. But her brother, as he's getting ready to leave, pauses, looks at this big painting that Lisa had on the wall and goes, "That's a really beautiful painting," and then leaves. And I swear to God, I stood up like a sleeper agent because I know that sounds like it's nothing. You're like, okay, he's complimenting the painting. That's not what he was doing. He was trying to see what in the house was worth something. And he was making a comment about the painting, more so to himself, about how he could sell it later, essentially. He was taking stock of what was in the house. He also made a comment about the piano that was in the corner of the living room where Lisa was literally in a hospital bed. He made a comment about her giant standing bass that she had, you know. Like, it was, if he wasn't on his way out, I was gonna lose my shit. Because I was making a habit of not losing my shit in front of Lisa because Lisa was kind of going in and out with like what she was very confused up and down. I explained it as being almost like a toddler with dementia, with like like it would be very childlike but also very confused, you know what I'm saying? So I made a habit of borderline gentle parenting her towards the end. And so I made sure she didn't see me losing my fucking shit half the time. Disney villain shit, yeah. No, I hope I never see those two fucking dudes again. Her niece as well, who fucked off towards the end, and then at the memorial pulled me aside to be like, make sure your dad doesn't go through the house without us there. And I was like, we're at the fucking memorial. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, I'll get on that, you know. I hope I don't see those people again. Ex-husband was like that. Yeah. The house my dad was living in, by the way. Don't go through the house. Don't go through your own items. We had the talk with my mom about what she wanted. She just said, do whatever you want. I won't be here anyways. I miss her so much. Please tell me you slapped her. No, I was at my aunt's restaurant where the memorial was. So I did not slap her. Debated it. No, but again, there's instances, I am very good, chat, on reading the situation and being like, I will not be the crazy person right now. I will be the sane one. Because the moment if anyone asks me about that conversation, I know I'm not the fucking psycho, you know? We're dealing with preemptive family drama about my father-in-law after losing his wife earlier this year. One greedy relative has me wanting to slap her. Sometimes you just have to play the time game, chat. You gotta just play out it'll come around. People will know. This is not the time, you know? And it's not like respectability politics or anything like that. It's just reading the situation of realizing I can't be the one to freak out right this moment, you know? My dad's mom dies, there will be fights breaking out. I think one of the grandchildren will get everything when they turn 18, though. It happens. One of my uncles does not have children. Him and his wife do not have children. And it's already been told to like all me and my cousins, like, you will all be getting a pretty sizable inheritance from them. And I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm not going to plan on that. But also, I'm not going to fight anyone if anyone wants a percentage of something. Because I'm just like, okay, they're not They're still here. I'm not going to argue with you, you know. Plus, my cousins, most of them have kids now. So, oh, she doesn't know she's been disowned in the will. So I'm happily sitting back. Ooh. Ooh, that'll do it. That'll do it. Okay. All right, we're gonna end this because I need couch time and Goblin needs a walk. Let's see. All right, y'all want Twitch viewers. Y'all want Nandre, Morgan, Frogan, or Scoot? One's playing Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, one's playing Silent Hill, one's just chatting. I'm gonna go finish off an Academy Ballad. Scootish was so spicy last time. Thanks for the stream. Are we thinking Scootish? Sonic is Scoot, huh? Yep, we're doing Scoot. All right, Scootish 2 days in a row. Bye. All right, I will do this. YouTube viewers, you can hang tight for a second. We'll just raid out over on Twitch. Raid. Boom. 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 Bye, Twitch viewers. I will see y'all tomorrow. And remember to watch the YouTube video if you haven't seen it yet. Bye. All right. YouTube viewers, you are still stuck with me for 2 seconds. Thank you for watching, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Okay? Bye.